kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Three races in and three winners to start the season here in the SNN Cup Series. Can we see number 4 here tonight in Phoenix? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Trapasso, joined with me by my partner, Matt Metler, who had to step away to take care of some personal business, but he will be back with us shortly. Route number 4, here we are. Let's get right to it. Take a quick look at the point standings coming into tonight. Joe Stafford is going to take over the command of the points lead. Jeff Carson currently sitting in second. RJ Root, Travis Cranborg, Rick Jett rounding out your top 5. Still pretty tight up at the top of this piece. And we get a little bit of separation around 8th with Austin Story 6 points to the good over Jeremy Miller. Chris Claude rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. And a couple of names kind of deep in this one that we weren't expecting to see that far down. Chad Sanner, Joseph Cossey, Leo Bonacasa, all on the outside looking in right now as we get ready to click on over into qualifying. Bring that up and let's take a look who's going to be the first one to roll it. Surprise, surprise, if it isn't RJ Root in the 69. Pride of Gloucester, Virginia. He's rolling. Jeremy Miller in his Toyota starting to roll already. There's Sean Rogers' Chevy. Ryan Samuelson already rolling it. John Wilco as well. Rich Jett, there is his Chevy, taking the green flag. Travis Kraneborg out on track right now as well. Chris Custer. Steve Giberson. And Ken Ron all rolling them right now. Let's check back in with RJ Root. Actually, let's take a look at Sean Rogers. He's actually going to be the first one to post a time here.
As he goes across the start-finish line, rolling that 44 machine, taking full advantage of that dog leg. That's a good way to get some quick time around here, especially on new tires. She's rolling there just about a half groove off the bottom. Gonna rotate off the corner, down the backstretch. Good looking lap so far in that 44 machine, Tony.
Oh, it absolutely is. And let's check back in with our very own Emily Urias. She's going to post her first time. 13th quick for her. Let's take a look at Leo Bonacasa from Long Island.
Well, that makes 3 of us from New York that I know of in this session.
True story. We got the entire state blanketed at this point. Oh, hang on to her, son.
Oh, hello.
That'll wake you up. How you doing, Leo?
And so a little love tap with the wall.
And we missed RJ Root going quick time so far. Let's check in with who else is out on track who hasn't posted the time yet. There's the
15 there.
Goes up to 10th quick. Now gets bumped to 11th as Austin Story goes 9th. Check back in here with JC Gibson. He's had a couple of strong runs the past couple of weeks. Just has not had the results indicative of the runs he's had.
No, he certainly hasn't, and a lot of times it hasn't been of his own doing either, but that car has been performing a lot better than the end result. And that's just a matter of time, I think, before it turns around, and it could turn around for that 27 tonight as we get ready to wrap up that West Coast swing.
Well, he's got a solid run going right now. I mean, he's not set the track on fire, but this track, if you know how to run what are now turns 1 and 2, it's just coming through 3 and 4 right now. And trust me, if you're a longtime Phoenix fan, it's weird calling it that. But if you can run 1 and 2 successfully, you can make passes. Checking in with Chad Sander. There he is in 5 Hour Energy, number 59. Still waiting on Lauren Jones, Leo Bonacasa, Brandon Sheridan, Alex Princeton, Tony Burt, and Sean Conklin to lay times here. As we're waiting with Sander right now.
Yeah, Sander
10th quick.
Up to 10th. Yeah, on the pylon. That's pretty good the first lap. Gets bumped back to 11th here. Comes back through that Geico restart zone one more time. Push it up towards the wall. Start-finish line. Does he advance?
He does not.
Does not. But hey, just outside the top 10, 11th for the 59. Hey, that's starting things off on the right side of things, if you ask me.
Absolutely. He's checking in with Sean Conklin right now. Looks like he's one of the young gunners in this field right now. That's either a sprint car or a quarter midget. I can't really figure out which in his profile picture there.
But nonetheless, we know he's a wheelman in real life as well. 78 looks really good rotating out of the corner there as he throttles up. Rolling down the backstretch there.
This is going to be a solid time for Conklin.
I was going to say, this looks really strong, at least from our perspective. Good run off.
Up to 9th. Nice lap.
Nice.
Lauren Jones out on track right now in the Cheetos Mustang. Every time I broadcast this series, I always get the munchies.
I was going to say the same thing, Tony, and I love the paint scheme on that race car. Then usually you got him along with SRM's own Dave Regal. He's got, if he still has Wawa the Tasty Cakes on board.
He does.
You got Snack Central right there, and I'm hungry all race long. I couldn't agree with you more.
First lap for Jones, pretty much a throwaway. Goes 37th quick. Let's see if he's going to pick it up. Does improve in Sector 1. Good head of steam down the back chute. Charge to the line. This could improve. Does improve on time, does not improve on position.
So he'll definitely have his work cut out for him. He'll have enough time to make his way through the field, though, but definitely that 11 machine was looking for more in qualifying as he starts back all the way in 37th.
And Leo Bonacasa and Brandon Sheridan negated both of their laps. Both drivers did. So the only other person that could lay a time is Alex Princeton, who has not laid a lap yet, but he's running out of time.
Yeah, just, another 30, 40 seconds or so, and that might not be possible here, as that 19 Toyota remains the only car not to take to the track in this qualifying session here in Phoenix. Tony, you mentioned the old turns 1 and 2, and it is weird. This track's kind of morphed and been revamped over the years. For me, watching it, sometimes it's a little confusing because I like to go back to the old days.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember where there used to be grass in some areas of this track. But taking a look at the weather conditions tonight, 80-degree ambient air temperature, 33% relative humidity, partly cloudy skies, 103-degree track temperature. That's
a little spicy.
No, that's still cold for Phoenix. Normally, we're deep into the triple digits here. So those are relatively cool track conditions.
Well, in that perspective, you're absolutely right, Tony. But a lot of other places we run, anytime we're over that century mark, we start talking about grip. But you're right. Phoenix is usually in a league of its own with those track temps, well up there, 130, 40, if not higher.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind, too, is take a look at that wind. We're watching it gust almost to 10 miles an hour. And with this track being surrounded by sand and desert, that could wreak hell later on in the going, because hot tires and cool sand don't necessarily mix properly.
No, also throw a little sandblasting, the possibility in the mix there as well. You're right. That could wreak havoc later on or throughout the course of this race. As we go 312 laps tonight. That's to get us to the checkered flag here this evening from the Valley of the Sun. Glad you're all with us tonight, SNN. Got it locked on the SRM YouTube channel. If you're new to the family, make sure you smash the like button, ring the bell. Come home to us for eSIM racing action 7 nights a week.
And it looks like Sophie's on the same page as we are. Now she wants Cheetos too.
It's so tempting. I mean, once you see the car, you can't help but go there. I mean, let's just be honest.
Our good buddy Dave Regal checking in. John Woods, good to have you with us. Leo Bonacasa, always a pleasure to have you in the chat. As hot laps or qualifying, getting ready to wind on down here, and if these guys are going to wait, they just waited a little too long because there is not enough time to get your out lap and a flyer in. Even with us only turning 27-second lap times around this joint.
I'm not even sure a Formula One car could do it. Well, maybe when we first said it, but outside of that, that's literally impossible. So you're just going to have to take what you get here is you roll into the race starting from the back of the field. But Tony, that's the silver lining, right? 312 laps. If you have to start in the back, no reason to stress. Just take your time, be patient, race the race. Don't get caught up in anything Just keep your car all four corners on it and be around in the end when it counts. Smooth sailing from the back usually gets it done here at Phoenix.
Absolutely. As cars starting to grid up already. As we're just waiting for a few stragglers here to join us on the grid. We can talk about each one of our starters. Out of Gloucester, Virginia, in the 69, RJ Root sets quick time, 27.067. He's going to be joined on the front row with Alex Murray. Murray out of Concord, North Carolina for Prodigy Esports. And row number 2 is going to see another Prodigy Esports member in the form of Travis Cranborg, who led 112 laps last week. Let that number sink in. And he finished 15th. He's got the speed. He just hasn't had the luck yet. He's going to be joined with Jack Dow Motorsports' Eugenio Alonso, the man out of Buenos Aires, in row number 2. Row number 3 is going to give us Nick Stein out of Lubbock, Texas. And he is going to be joined with RP Allen. And we don't have any info on RP. Row number 4 gives us Tanner Marty out of Duval, Washington. Talk about as far west as you can get in the continental United States. And he's going to be joined with Rodrigo Loga. Again, no info on Rodrigo yet. But another Argentinian. Row number 5 is going to see Jeremy Miller. Where is it? Jeremy Miller, there he is. And he is going to be joined allegedly with Sean Conklin. I can't find Sean right now.
Hang on, we're not going green.
And there's Chad Sanders, going to be rolling off 12th. And he's going to be joined in row number 6 with Austin Story.
Yeah, Austin Story getting a great qualifying run there in 10th. You start to see that rest of this field roll as we get ready to go green flag racing here tonight from Phoenix.
We have Joe Stafford out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in row number 7. He's going to
Thank you, Tony.
He's going to be joined with Bennett Allen. There he is, out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And right behind them is going to be Sean Rogers out of Michigan. And he is going to be joined with Charles Eaton from Field Filler out of Worcester, Mass. Don't say Worcester, because they will get real pissed at you for that one. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, make that mistake once.
Yeah. And then behind them, we've got, where is he? Kavaja Hope. There he is, out of Waynesboro. He's going to be joined with Siva Cornez in row number 9. Running out the top half of the field, we've got Matt Gaskins from Parts Unknown, and he is going to be joined with our very own Dinsane Driver of the Week, Chris Claude. And Matt, how about you take us through the second half of the field?
You got it, brother. Well, here we go. Starting in 20th tonight, the 81 of Ryan Samuelson. 21st belongs to the 27 of J.C. Gibson. 22nd, the 71, Dave Field Jr. In 23rd, piloting that 24 car, that's Nicholas Brottenbach. 24th, the 9, you know who he is, Jeff Carson. 25th belongs to Rich Jeanette. As we go, green flag racing here tonight. As the first laps are now underway from the Valley of the Sun, and already, Tony, we are fanning out all over the racetrack.
Oh, baby.
Oh, wait.
That didn't take long.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no, no.
That's... Tony, I think that's just nerves, anticipation, and just trying to get a little too much at the start. All those race cars, you know, just all over the place, just swarming like a hive of bees, if you will. And right off the bat, our first caution flag of the day.
And this is the problem with open dogleg racing. Oh, that was a shot.
Oh, that was a...
23 into the 03, and then Stafford gets turned by the 44. Siva Cornez guesses wrong, tries to get low, can't get low enough.
Yeah, that was definitely a bag of crunch and munch at the top of the racetrack there. And Tony asked me about what I thought about the dog leg last week, and this was part of my concern.
Oh, same here.
You got to have, I mean, the situational awareness that you have to have is one thing, but when you're on a restart and those cars are just stacked on top of each other, mistakes are going to be made. It's inevitable.
Absolutely is. That was Rodrigo Loga. Here's Seba Cornez. See what happened with him. That inside line starts to accordion as everybody starts to fan out. Then all hell breaks loose. Seba's on the binders. The only problem is Joe Stafford is there.
Kind of had nowhere to go. There's a lot of big names are involved in this one very early, as we barely got past the green flag.
I'm going to take a look and see what happened to John Crow here. Keep your eye on the 95 at the top of your screen. He went for a ride, and I don't know what happened. They're sideways in front of him. The 9 gets turned. The 71 gets turned. 71 goes up the track, and the 23, that's the second car in the same accident that he's turned around. So, if any of the drivers are listening right now, I just want to point something out to you. In your pedal box, there's usually between 2 and 3 pedals. The one on the far right is the accelerator pedal. The one right next to that, it's called a brake pedal. And what it does is it helps slow the car down. Just saying.
So you can typically avoid and not hit things out there on the racetrack. Tony, I'm pretty sure I know what they are in that race car, but I understand your point and what you're getting at there. Certainly should be seeing that this early on. So much time left to go in this one. And already we got torn up race cars. It's going to be a big hill to climb. Got them re-racked, restacked here again. One more time in that Geico restart zone. RJ Root on the button. As those V8s come roaring to life and they go fanning out through the dog leg again. Can they get through it clean this time? RJ's going to get to the point. Followed in suit by Travis Krayborg. He was bad fast last week, so he'll be looking for redemption tonight. Oh, as he gets the squeeze job from the 40 of Alex Murray.
Murray was not going to be denied there, but take a look at what we see. This is the same thing we've seen the previous 3 races. Toyota, and then Tanner Marty's Chevy.
I was thinking the same thing, Tony. And obviously that just, is a testament to the setups and all the hard work and preparation they're putting in. But, I mean, outside of that 29, as you mentioned, of Tanner Marty and the Chevrolet bow tie there, that 29 ZL1 Camaro in 5th, it's virtually a Toyota top 7.
It absolutely is. And then you've got 2 Chevys, and the highest running Ford, surprise, surprise, is going to be the 00 Kavaja Hull, who apparently left his car parked on the south side of Phoenix last night and is ready for graffiti.
That is extremely unfortunate. I have never been to Phoenix. I will try to remember that if I ever do go there, but that's unfortunate, man.
Some of the best food trucks you're going to find in the country. However, when the streetlights come on, you might want to think about not being there.
When the sun goes down, get out of town or something like that. But well said, Tony. I appreciate the advice.
You definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of the baseline when the sun goes down. And for those of you from the Phoenix area, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
In my Marine Corps career, I shouldn't say career, but during my time of service, I've definitely been some places that were like that. I know what you mean there, but never been to Phoenix, but hope I get the opportunity to go there. There's already a little more. Oh, the 62 there. I thought he was going on pit road rather early, but maybe he got forced down there. Is Oh, SRM's Emily Urias is around in the Ford Mustang.
Looks like she may have had help. Let's find out here.
Yes, once again, we are back under caution. Caution number 2 on the evening.
Open. Oh!
Hello.
Open dog leg. The 74 used the dog leg. Emily got loose coming across the stripe. And Brandon Sheridan and her had a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Watch that again from the eye in the sky. Here you see Urias in the 6. Trying to follow the 9 around, goes to lay in the power. Gets a little tail wiggle there, catches the apron, and bang!
Yeah, sometimes when you go to pick up that boom pedal and put that power down, as you said, Tony, that car will just a little too much is all it takes. You break those tires loose and around you go. Unfortunately, there was competitors out there on the racetrack in the vicinity, and once again, definitely a racing deal out there on the racetrack, but still problems early on in this one as more drivers now have damage obstacles to overcome, weren't in their plan. So they're going to have to go to plan B, try to get their cars patched up, sound as they possibly can, as there's still a long way to go. And again, that may be the silver lining here, is the 6 and others going to have to try to go to work on that race car. They're once again under caution here.
Doesn't look like that car is beat up too much on the right side. Left side, on the other hand, yeah, you can see a crinkle in the left fender there. You can see the hood kind of bulge just ever so slightly, but nothing major. But hats off to everybody behind them. You know, I mean, we saw a lot of oh crap moments, and you know, people kept it pointed in the right direction, and more people didn't get involved than absolutely were necessary on that one.
Yeah, great heads-up situational awareness. I think, you know, on both cautions, they certainly could have been a lot worse, especially that second one. But that just goes to show you just the level of the drivers, the caliber, the skill that all these men and women out here have tonight, have inside those race cars. Is that is really tough to do, especially at a place like Phoenix, where you only have so much room to work with. It's oftentimes do you see all those cars get through there like they did unscathed.
Fact is, we are going to go at least one more lap here. Caution lights should be going out this time by. Only working lap. Well, look at the bright side. We've got 300 to go.
Plenty of time for all these competitors that have had trouble early on in the early opening laps as we work 13 here. As those yellow beams go out on the top of that pace car, which means we're going to go back to green flag racing this time by. It's a 69 RJ Root. He's going to be the point man. He's going to be the control car. He's going to have that button, as you like to say, Tony. Look for that iRacing.com pace car to go ahead and make that turn off of pit road. One more time. Here we go. Re-rack them and restack them. They're ready to lock and rock.
Well, since we didn't get enough times because we were going through the starting grid, it's the perfect time to say it now. It's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the sunscreen because it's time to get it on in the valley of the sun. Race fans, it's showtime!
Green, green, green.
Oh, you're down right at showtime. Back on the loud pedal to 69. Brings it back to life, and the whole field follows as we're roaring, coming through one. Fanning out, of course. It's Phoenix style, people. 21 rocking the bottom. That is Travis Grayborg. So strong last week. Looking for, again, a solid follow-up or maybe a redemption win. But the 40 of Alex Murray, he's got other plans in that Camry, as he's going to go ahead and peak to the bottom, as he's going to have the preferred line almost right on the back of the leader of the 69. As we're in a drag race right now between that 40 machine and the 21. We start to see use of that dog leg again, Tony, and I got to be honest with you, every time they fire through there like that, I get nervous. But all goes well as it's full send out there on the racetrack. The 69 carries the torch as we're single file now through about the first top 10, top 15 cars.
Oh, we absolutely are. But your biggest mover right now is going to be back here around 15. That's Zach Osborne driving the 16 with plus 19.
That is impressive.
Get your scorecards out so we can keep track.
If you go back to 19th, Alex Princeton, he's up 20 already.
He is at that. After not getting the qualifying attempt he was hoping for, look who he's running with. That's Joe Stafford, who got caught up in that first little melee to bring out the first caution. Already starting to make some rebounds and some recoveries there.
Yeah, I'll say no qualifying and no problem for some of these guys as they're making it look easy, and that is no simple task. I mean, just clawing your way through the field of all these race car drivers right here that just have so much talent packed into this track on display tonight. 00 there, working on the bottom. Kavaja Holt liking the paint scheme on that car tonight. He's going to take it all the way down to the inside, almost down to the. He got low on that one, Tony. So you almost feel like you run out of racetrack at this racetrack from a broadcast booth perspective. You're like, where is he going? But hey, that is inbounds here at Phoenix.
That's the thing. Through the dog leg, it's inbounds. Going through 3 and 4, it's out of bounds. And it's weird. Like, if you're new to oval racing, Phoenix is definitely not the track you want to try to cut your teeth at, because you're going to see things that people do that it's not quite legal everywhere.
No, it's not, and it'll certainly get you in trouble in the form of penalties and other negative sanctions from NASCAR if you do it at a lot of other racetracks. But that 00 again continues to just work the bottom, taking full use of that dog leg, the 40 machine there as well. I mean, he's getting down under that that single yellow line. A lot of tracks you go to that'll really upset the balance of that race car. So he's really starting to put the pressure on the back of RJ Root, trying to get him driving out that rear view mirror as we go back to the bumper cam, and that is literally a camera full of Camry grill. The 40 now is going to slip to the inside. He's got the position. Can he carry the momentum all the way through the corner? Can he make it stick?
I'm going to say no, because going through 1 and 2 there, that second lane is really where you're going to want to be. You want to be about a car width off the yellow line to carry the momentum through that corner. Through 3 and 4, where they're going through now, you kind of diamond it off and then go down to the dog leg. But coming through 1 and 2 like they are right this second, I like the line that RJ took the previous lap. He was a little bit lower than I would have wanted to see that time, as they both grazed the wall coming off of 2.
Yeah, they grazed the wall, and so did, I believe, to the 30 machine of Jeremy Miller as well. Yeah, definitely got a little piece of it there.
It was either him or Stein, if not both.
They both could have, because so many times, I don't know exactly what the term is, but I know when I'm out there running on the racetrack and I'm doing everything I can to mirror the guy in front of me just because he's got a fast line. If he accidentally hits the wall because I'm just so focused on, centering myself on that race car in front of me, I'll go up there and I'll hit it too. And that could have been the case right there, as the 30 definitely got a little bit, and Stein may have as well.
Got some racing going on here. 3 wide with Miller. Boy. Miller shared in a lap car. Good grief.
Yeah, these guys definitely giving everyone in the YouTube chat. Got the SRM channel dialed in, a show at home tonight. Hey, it only may be lap 24, but it looks like lap 300 out there with the level these guys are going right now, just on full attack out there on the racetrack. The 19, the 14, they've been duking it out too here for the last couple laps. Great battles going on all over the racetrack right now. There's currently that 19 machine of Alex Princeton. He's going to currently be the victor in the early going on that battle. But Tony, how many times have we seen at Phoenix sometimes sometimes you're the victor and sometimes you're on the other side looking in, comers and goers. And that's just how that race goes. But, you're going to have to battle these guys all throughout the course of the night. Oh, man, right there, that 00 just pushed up the racetrack. I could have swore he got into the 27. If he didn't, that you probably couldn't have slid a piece of paper between them.
Now you can see a little donut on the left, on the driver's door of the 27. They did get contact, but no harm, no foul. But no quarter asked for, no quarter given either. As Tanner Marty and Bennett Allen, both in Chevys, doing battle right now. This would be the, for lack of a better way to put this, the best of the rest. Is those 5 Toyotas in front of them are 2 seconds up the road already.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yeah,
and not anymore. And please tell me that's not what I think it is. Yes,
it's
it
exactly
is.
what. Yes, it is. Oh no, that's the 8 of Dave Regal. Let's see what happened. There's one of our brothers from up in the broadcast booth.
Ooh. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Yes, then he's going to get it back in gear, throttle it back up, get onto the racing surface. Not the position he wanted. Sometimes people say, hey, you can't park there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for Dave there. However, that Camry doesn't look too bad. It's got all the corners on it. Not seeing any of the fenders pushed in on the tires on that race car. I think he's going to be okay, Tony.
Oh, Dave's never okay. But, no harm, no foul. Let's see what happened here.
Oh, no, you're right. I agree. Dave is never okay, but I was referring to the race car.
Ooh, looks like too much rear brake bias. The 45, nowhere to go, just finishes him off. He had a cooker of a lap going into one there, and then just too much rear brake, and around she goes. Let's watch that one again, see if we can't find the, this is what Dave saw. Oh! Wheel hop.
And you typically don't see that as much in these next-gen cars. They have the rear independent suspension. It's not a solid rear axle, but you're absolutely right, Tony. That was hopping hard in that inside on board with Dave Regal there in the 8.
He grabbed second gear for some reason. And if he's using paddle shifters, it's probably he just double tapped the paddle by accident.
I've done it because I use paddle shifters. I unfortunately don't have, well, not that you use an H pattern in this car, but I've done it, and I've actually money shifted it a couple times too, blew it right through the stratosphere. So if that's what happened, could have been a lot worse for that 8. But once again, for the 3rd time now tonight, in the early going, back under caution from the Valley of the Sun. Pace cars back out on point. 69-40. They were in the middle of a dogfight before that caution flag came out. And the early story continues to be the Toyotas and the domination up front, especially early on in these ones. There's the top 4 spots currently occupied by those Toyota Camrys, and they are aplenty within the top 10, top 15 as well right now. First Chevrolet is in 5th of Tanner Marty, and the first blue oval all the way back to 9th for Kavara Holt. He's the first Ford Mustang in the field.
I mean, we've seen a lot already, but it could be worse. I've seen worse. I mean, at least we've got a couple laps under green there. But those guys from Powerhouse, you know,
Green flag, green
they've
flag.
got their poop in a group, if you will. You know, they've got those Toyotas dialed in right, and they're fast. They're bad fast.
Yeah, so is that 69 of RJ Root as he gets it done again on another
Yellow, yellow,
restart.
yellow.
Just able to just walk that 21 just a little bit better as they get up to speed once again, fanning out as usual behind him. And once again, cautions do breed cautions as we barely get back to the green flag side of things. And we're yet under caution once more. And I believe the 23 machine there may have had something to do with it.
Oh, let's take a look at the 16 because I'm showing Zach Osborne. There's Zach all the way. Oh!
Oh! Does he come up, mate? No, okay.
No, he guessed wrong. There it is. Oh my. Well, there's our first. Thank God this is a simulator moment of the night.
Oh, I mean, that's a lot for just getting up to speed. And I mean, that is impressive. And not, you know, of course, on the, not that I'm encouraging or, you know, saying, hey, I'm glad you did that, but I just can't believe what that car went through, just barely coming up through a couple gears.
And Emily had absolutely nowhere to go as we were just on board with her. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, talking about getting blindsided there in the 6 machine. The next thing she knows, she's looking out the front windshield, blinks, and her whole world has literally changed inside that race car. You know, Tony, is it possible that just because we've had all these caution flags early on, you know, that the nerves in the just, you know, because of the these early issues that we're facing, not being able to get in that repetition, right, making those green flag, getting through that first green flag run, hitting your reps, that now the psychological starts coming into play, right? You know, instead of focusing on hitting your marks, everyone's worried about what, you know, the caution flags. They're starting to get a little antsy inside the cockpit of that race car. And that could start, you know, that could be coming into play a little bit here, you think, especially early on.
Yeah, it just, it still boggles my mind that, I mean, yeah, you've got your best chance to make a pass or two on a restart, you know, because once everybody gets strung out, it's a little bit more difficult to make moves. But it seems like everybody throws common sense out the window of, hooray for me and screw the rest of you all, I'm going to put my car here, and if we crash, it's your fault. And that seems to be the mentality that we're seeing tonight. And I can tell you right now, I would not want to be anybody that's on track right now driving like that, because I know for a fact Chris Claude does not put up with that baloney.
You don't want to be out there on like a power trip mercenary. But again, I think a little bit of that extra fuel comes from the frustration of having these, if you were caught up in these incidences early on and these caution flags, you know, that kind of just, you know, as a race car driver, you know, that just, it just helps, you know, it helps fuel that fire, you know, mentally inside the helmet of that driver. And I think that might be just a little bit of it here. So hopefully we can get back to green flag racing, get a solid run in, let these drivers feel their cars out so they can, you know, they know where to go with the adjustments moving on throughout the course of this race. And they just haven't had the opportunity to do that as cautions have plagued the opening 36 laps here. But hey, we got another shot here to bring it back to business right here at Phoenix, the 21 to 69. Enjoy the front row.
We're averaging a caution every 9 laps.
Every 9?
We're averaging a caution every 9. This is our 4th caution.
That is a statistic there.
Especially when you figure that it's 5 laps under caution.
Really clean restart up front that time. Not as much separation. The 69, the 21 playing nice, at least in the early going, giving everyone just a little bit more room as we go to the top side. The race is really heating up. And seems like we have another two vehicles there that just decided they wanted to keep the party ongoing in the yellow. On the other flags side of things, I should say. The 57 there involved got turned around. That's going to be Joe Safford in that 57 machine.
Boy,
it looked like he had some help.
He had a lot of help. There you see Stafford on the outside in the 57. Gets the run. '60 gets him loose, and then watch this.
Ouch.
Let's take a look at Ryan Samuelson in the same crash. That's Samuelson in the 81, right behind Stafford. It starts with the 60 coming up the track. Nicholas Breidenbach gets turned as well. All right, then. Caution number 5.
Cautions breed more cautions, equal more driver frustration, and admins in the leagues and race control out there on the racetrack tonight. We got to turn the tides here, Tony. This is too early for this in the race with a long way to go. As a race car driver, amongst all the competitors, as a collective group here right now, forget, team orders and, your race teams and the manufacturers. Everyone just needs to get on the same page and give each other a little bit of breathing room and just go out there and ride for a little bit. Let those tires come up to temperature for once. Get some green flag laps underneath your belt before you really start, going back and shoveling the hard labor around, if you will. Because if this keeps up, Tony, I've seen races like this, and sometimes it does not end well. And that's well outside of the drivers that are on track right now. You just got to find a way to out there and log some laps. Give some, gentlemen's agreement on, gentlemen and ladies agreement on full display. Give yourself just a little bit of room. If there's a, crack a daylight to take a spot, you got plenty of laps left. Don't worry about getting that lap right now. Just get some positive synergy going out here on the racetrack. Log some laps, and then get back to it.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, Matt, you've been in the server long enough to realize that that's easier said than done.
Oh, I agree. And if I'm in that race car, I'm probably not saying what I'm saying right now to myself. And you're absolutely right, Tony. And I think that's where, the crew chiefs, the spotters have to come in, be that voice of reason inside the helmet. Because we got to get some form of just some consistency at this point out here on the racetrack in Phoenix here tonight. Sunday night in prime time. I want to thank everyone for coming on board with us here at SRM and joining us. We get ready to go back to the green flag side of things here on the racetrack. Pace car is going to come back off again. The 21 and the 69. They are going to do it again. As we are really tight. All those Camrys up front. Except for that 29 machine, the Tanner Marty in that third place position. He is surrounded in the Camry sandwich right now. Just look at the 40 getting right on the back of the 21. Coming up to the Geico restart zone. And that 69, he is going to fire off out of a cannon as they climb up through the gears. Here we go through the dog leg. It's going to be a drag race once again. 69 to 40. The 21, the 29, the lone Chevrolet in the top 4 right now. Clean restart, though, so far as we're single file. Sorry, I had to catch my breath there.
Understandable.
Is
As
that-
we check back in with 15, as Randy Spivey, almost a meat in a sandwich. 3 wide as the 15 drives way down low. That's Bennett Allen. As the 19 of Alex Princeton still trying to make some more headway. He's already plus 23. Your biggest mover, though, is that Toyota of Brandon Sheridan, 74. He's currently plus 29.
Not 19, 29.
Correct.
He's up to 9th. That is, you want to talk about having some momentum, even with the cautions. Everything is all well in the world with that 74 machine right now. I can tell you as much. He's probably the happiest guy on the racetrack right now. But did you see that 15 gripping and ripping the bottom of the racetrack? He was down. He had his own zip code rolling around here the last lap. Currently running in that 13th position there.
Working on the back of Seba Cornez right now with Rich Jett going to him. Jett looking to the inside, going through 1 and 2. The 15 of Allen still holds tight, works to the inside of Cornez now. Drag race down the back chute into turn number 3. Give the advantage to Allen.
Yeah, he's going to send it in the corner. He's going to make it stick. Gets that Camaro rotating really nice right now. Going to cut it back down to the dog leg. You know, Tony, that's the other thing with that dog leg. You know, the more you use it, the more hurting it's going to put on those tires as well. That's something just to think about. We really haven't had much of any types of long green flag runs. We've definitely been caution fueled, but the drivers need to remember that'll really start to get the car squirrely. It's just that right rear going away. If they continue to do that throughout the course of this run here, they'll start paying for it in about 15, 20 laps or so, as that car will become a handful, especially as it tries to transition back to the track from the flat.
Well, as we're watching from the roof of Sean Rogers' car, you can see how squirrely he got. You can see how squirrely Chad Sanders 59 got as well. As we're coming into 3 right now, watch when they get to the dog leg, just how much of a bounce these cars take.
Yeah, and every bounce, every wiggle, not as bad that time, every slide, that's precious grip coming off of those tires on that race car. And we know how important grip here is at Phoenix. I understand the track temp isn't, where it typically is in some of the extreme cases, but it's still north of 100 degrees. And there's a long way to go. Currently getting a great onboard shot, looking out the front bumper here. Looking at the camera, that 27 machine there of Jason Gibson, working on the high side, working on the bottom, fighting hard, strong, that 59 machine as well. That's Chad Sanders. He's just inside the top 10 in 10th position. Jason Gibson has other plans. Sean Rogers trying to get his hat involved there too. Thought about driving it down there, thought twice, backed off. He's currently running in 12th in that 44 machine.
Yeah, Rogers hanging in there pretty tough right now, as Sheridan doing what he's doing best is now he's looking at the inside of... I'm sorry, I'm a little bit back. That's Bennett Allen working the inside of Kabaja Cole. As they come down into turn number 3. Give the advantage to Allen.
Bennett is going places right now, especially since we've kind of been watching him here, or this group of cars, over the past 10 laps or so, all the way up to 15th now, up 6 positions. That Camaro's looking pretty strong here in the early going. It was really nice planted in the racetrack there. Seems to be well balanced, getting back under throttle there. Taking back to the 30 machine there. Jeremy Miller, he is no slouch here in this series. One of the probably great race car driver, very talented, been very good in all of our races so far to start out the season here in that 30 machine. Currently up there carrying the torch at the point, up 8 spots. And you guessed it, another Toyota Camry up here at the front, flexing some muscle, as he's able to get around Raymond R.J. Root, that 69 to 40 of Alex Murray, and Travis Kryborg in that 21 machine. Round out your top 4. Top 5, another Toyota, Nick Stein. So all Toyotas lead the way inside the top 5 as they run right now. Very impressive early going once again here from the Toyota camp.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we've seen all season long so far. You know, those SWM Toyotas, they've got a base setup that they pass around to everybody. They work hard on it all week. And then every driver makes a little bit of a tweak to make it their own. But regardless, they're still very fast no matter behind the wheel with that setup.
Yeah, whoever came up with that formula deserves a promotion because it is working. As we've seen over very, very different types of racetracks now too, where it's not just now the super speedways, it's not the cookie cutters, it's not the short tracks, it's everything. And it is working for these Toyota drivers under that manufacturer umbrella, and they are a force to be reckoned with. Is once again, Jeremy Miller out front. These Toyotas are just starting to walk away from the field once again. Alex Murray, he is on the attack tonight. He has not been on the defense at all, really. He has been all offense. As he is just going at it lap after lap since the drop of the green flag.
Well, the thing is with Murray and Root right now, they're letting Miller get away to the tune of 2 3/4 seconds already.
Yeah, just almost 3 seconds now, actually. And you're right. The more side-by-side racing you do, the more you get caught up in your own battle. That's precious time you're leaving out there on the racetrack. That's going to allow everyone behind you to come to you. And that's going to let Jeremy Miller check out. And he's probably looking in his rearview mirror smiling as he sails off into the sun with no pressure in sight as RJ Root and Alex Murray continue to dogfight up front, side by side, just where they left off last time. And look at the 15 and the 21. Everyone else behind them is coming as they refuse to lose. Someone's going to have to say die here, at least for this the shortcomings here, as they got to get this settled out as they are putting the punishment on those Goodyear Eagles on their car as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're already 58 laps into this piece. Now, granted, about half of those have been under caution, but I mean, everybody seems to have calmed down quite a bit. We do have a couple of drivers to speak of. One has already put it on the hauler. That's RP Allen after 7 laps. Ryan Samuelson and Nicholas Breidenbach are both having to change engines right now. And then you've got a lot of cars a lap down with damage. As a matter of fact, the one showing 31 still on the lead lap.
Again, that was just part of all the attrition we had. Oh, big moment there for the 15 as he's still trying to get it sorted. And he about did everything there but wreck. So he overcorrected, undercorrected, and somehow done that 2 or 3 times. Oh, another wiggle there coming off the flat.
He has completely burned the rear tires off of that car, trying to hold court with those Toyotas around him.
Looks like someone put some bacon grease back there when he's coming off the corner. I mean, those tires are just cooked, as you said, Tony. And as a driver, that's when it gets really stressful, when you can't feel any bite or you don't have any confidence in the rear of that race car. And, well, Tony, like you said, the good news in this case for the 15.
That's the stage break.
So that'll be stage 1 in the books here tonight from Phoenix. Give it to the 50. I'm sorry, did I see in that correctly? The 30 of Jeremy Miller.
Yep, Miller, Murray, Root, Allen, Kranborg, Stein, Holt, Marty, Sanner, and Sheridan getting your bonus points there. So while we are under the stage caution, we are going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen One Lawn Care. Preen One does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different products. It has everything you need for a beautiful lawn in one bag. And all it takes is one application. For season-long weed control and feeding, apply the granules when the lawn is wet and weeds are actively growing. It blocks crabgrass all season. It prevents crabgrass seeds from growing. It kills the seedlings too, even when applied 4 weeks after they sprout. It's your best defense against tough weeds like dandelion, chickweed, henbit, and hundreds more. Plus, its slow-release formula feeds the lawn evenly for months to build stronger roots for maximum heat and drought resistance. Preen 1 delivers convenience and better performance in one package with one application. Spend more time enjoying your lawn and less time working on it. Preen 1, and it's done. It's a lawn dream come true.
And we are back at Phoenix for round number 4 of the SNN Cup Series. I'm Tony Spazzo, he's Matt Metler, and you are, whoever you are, thank you for joining us here on a Sunday evening as we just finished stage 1, and Jeremy Miller led him on and off of pit road with foreign fuel.
Yeah, that's right, Tony, as we've been pace racing in the early going. We had our first decent longer side of the scheme green flag run here as we came down to our first stage break. Jeremy Miller able to get it done as he has some great long run speed there. So put him to the point.
Green flag.
So hits that Geico restart zone, and he is going to stand on it and shoot out of a cannon. Great restart by Jeremy Miller. Is hard and charged on the inside right behind him, and he's been hungry all race long at that 40 machine. Alex Murray. Talk about some drive, and how bad do you want it inside that race car? That 40 has just been at it since the drop. RJ Root, he was quick early on, kind of faded there at the end. He may have burned his biscuits up on that race car just a little bit as he's working inside the 21 there of Travis Treyborg, who's definitely got to be looking for a win this week if he woulda, shoulda, coulda last week. And here we go. Someone decided not to play nice, and it's the 0-0. Well, I don't know if he didn't play nice yet, but someone got out of shape there. As you go back to the replay, see him work in the middle of the racetrack there as he comes up off the corner. Don't see any contact yet. Got the 2 on the inside. Really close there. Oh, he's just going to get a little bit of a high five in the quarter panel, and that's all it takes. Especially when the car is loaded like that, and around he goes.
Let's take a look at what the eye in the sky picked up here. You see Holt there on the high side on the 0-2. Coming down the back chute, good head of steam. Kavacha's going to get the clear there. Here comes the 0-2 back on him, and just a little bit of the old Spanish archer to the rear quarter panel there, the old elbow, and around she goes. Heads up driving for everybody behind Kavacha to not get into it, though.
Big heads up. And see, that's the thing, though, Tony. You said he had the clear. Now, traditionally, what that means is he's going to clear the position. He's clear of the car in back of him, and he's going to cover the spot. Well, the 0-0 there didn't technically come all the way down and cover the spot. He was running his line, but the problem is there, you leave just that little bit of opening, and the 0-2 comes up and tags him, not hard, just touches him, and around he goes.
And that's, that's racing. You can't really put that on the 0-2. You kind of got to put 50-50 on the 0-2 and the 0-0 together. Because
Precisely.
like you said, Kavacha didn't cover the spot completely. He left an opening in the 0-2, like any good race car driver will do. You treat every spot like a ferret would. If you can get your nose in there, you can get through that hole. And for those of you who own ferrets, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That was well said on your part. Take a look there at the 0-0. Takes it back down. Gets it back going back underway on the racetrack here. That Mustang still in great shape. Certainly could have been a lot worse there tonight. But once again, we are back to the eye-pacing side of things again Sunday night in prime time.
As we are still 31 cars on the lead lap. I mean, that's still rather impressive.
Yeah, especially, with the field as deep as it is, and a large part of that, not to talk about the cautions again, but that'll help in that department.
And the thing is, the early cautions that we saw, nothing was really major. I mean, yeah, there was a couple that you look back and go, wow. But most of it was just, bump and runs gone wrong.
No, and you're exactly right. Traditional short track style incidences on the racetracks is bump and runs, but maybe it's just me, but I don't see I don't see the reason, the need, the want to, force the issue that much, especially, when you got well over 300 laps, to run that early in the race. But then again, hey, it's Sunday night. There's a lot of cars in the field. You're mired deep in the pack. It's Phoenix, how easy it is to go a lap down. And that's just going to put a little more urgency in the driver. And that's the end result. We get ready to go back to green flag racing here once more again as we work through the 3-4 coming out of turn 3 there.
That's 2.
Or 2, I'm sorry.
Used to be 3 and 4.
See, it just got me again. Is that pace car is going to come down pit road prematurely in the game. Probably one of the longest lengths of time between that pace car pulling off until they do hit that Geico restart zone.
And the thing is, there's no room to hide down that hallway, so if something pops off, you're in it.
You don't have a choice. Just like they're in the throttle once again, coming back up through the gears. There's the 30. He's going to come out the other side carrying the torch. P1. Alex Murray again resides in P2, just where he's been top 2, top 3 all day. The 69-time RJ Root and Travis Triborg picking right up where they left off, battling hard side by side. It's a straight Camry slugfest up front, dominating top 4 spots, top 5 spots now that Nick Stein's been able to get up there. And make it 6 now is Brandon Sheridan's been able to get around to that Chevrolet and Tanner Marty. Top 6, up 32 spots.
Oy.
To another.
RJ Root was leaning on Miller there, coming through 2, as Alex Murray is rushed the lead away. So Murray, your new leader, which means we now have 3 different leaders, and all 3 have been Toyotas.
We have a game of Toyotas up at front, literally on display here tonight, as they've just had so much speed, and cars are just very well balanced as well here. The 2 big things here at Phoenix, you got to be able to rotate the center, and you got to be able to get on the gas pedal, and that's exactly what these Toyotas are doing very well here tonight. And that's why you see now the top 6 commanding the front of this field. And outside of that, you want to talk about someone coming from the back to the front. Also with a Toyota, that 74 machine in 6, up 32 spots, not 22, 32.
Yeah, Sheridan unfortunately negated both of his qualifying attempts. So, definitely not a good thing to have happen. Luckily, he is a charter driver, so he is able to take the green in that situation. But, definitely puts himself behind the 8 ball. He's finally caught up to where he was hoping to start in the first place, and now he's got the rest of the race to race, basically.
Well said, and he's on the right side of the rabbit's foot, because there was a lot of mayhem, and weird cautions and things happening early on in that one that he could have easily been caught up in, and he was able to kind of slice and dice his way through there, and currently is, just like I said, on the back door of the top 5, currently in 6th spot. Currently, we're single file right now. Here we go, past potential pass for position here. Looking at the Camaros here, battling. The first Camaros in line here tonight, I believe.
That's Tanner Marty in the 29, Sean Rogers in the 44. They got that sorted out just a little bit. It's coming up on a lap car. That's 4, who unfortunately was involved in an earlier mishap. That's Tony Burke. Oh!
How did they? That was incredible, Tony.
How did he save that?
I have no idea, but he literally, he might as well have strapped a jet engine on the back of that car and just went full send afterburner as you saw tire smoke flying everywhere.
Back
and was able to keep that car and point it straight. That's incredible. Watch this push. This isn't like, hey, how's it going? This is, hey, I'm gonna blow your head off and leave your ears dangling in the wind. He just comes up and just crushes them.
Well, here we are coming through 1 and 2 on the lap the previous lap. As the 44 gets the run, Marty waits the last possible second. And the 44 comes out on the losing end of that whole exchange.
Yeah, now that I watched it back, it wasn't as hard as I initially thought it was there in real time, but still, that was definitely more than a slap to the, a high five to the back. That was some content. He definitely had some meat in the potatoes there. He's able just to keep that car straight. I don't know how. Great heads-up driving once again out here.
He is at that. Now they're coming down the hallway again. It's the 19 of Princeton looking to the inside of the 44. The 4 still kind of in everybody's way. Now he gets up and out of the way. Good grief.
And that 44 is unfortunately way off pace. Had to take evasive action, almost basically touching the wall, trying to do everything he could to stay out of the way of the competition. The 44 machine there, Sean Rogers in that 44 machine working to the outside there of Siva Cornez. He's up 6 spots, just knocking on the back door of the top 10.
Take a look at the 19, who's plus 29 in front of him. Again, another Toyota that's making moves in the positive direction.
Yeah, it's almost like these guys hooked up with a great screenwriter when they were out there in LA, and they've just been carrying it with them moving forward, and it's playing out for them week in and week out. And I know that's not really what happened, but I mean, you couldn't ask for anything else, especially from the Toyota camp, from a manufacturer's perspective. Because, I mean, if they're not owning the front, even if they start deep in the field, they're just charging through there like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, pretty much. That's one of the things. You have to be carefully aggressive here in Phoenix. Yes, you've got to show aggression, be able to defend and move your way forward, but you have to have that air of caution about you so that you don't overcook your own program and take somebody with you. Because as I mentioned, when they're coming down the hallway like they are right now, if something pops off in front of you, there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, absolutely. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to ram your ugly, or this face is going to ram you right in it, whether you want to or not. So you're right. You got to flex a little bit, but you got to smart flex out there on the racetrack if you want to go down that, like you said, Tony. You got to do it. You have to. You just got to be smart about it. As things have definitely improved here out on the racetrack. You see these drivers giving each other just a little bit more room, more give and take going on out there. Double Zero, Kavarja Holt, he was involved in a couple incidences early on. He's got that Mustang going in the right direction. This is right around that 15th spot. Currently under attack, though, from Aaron Mack. Return of the Mack in that Chevrolet ZL1 Camaro. He's got some things popping, though. He's up 12.
He is that. I mean, it's good to see, Aaron on a good recovery drive right now. And then you look back a little bit, Leo Bonacasa, who negated both of his qualifying laps there, he is in the 45, back in 20th. But Leo started shotgun in the field, so he's plus 20 right now. Which, not exactly what he was hoping for. I mean, if he could start in the top 20, who knows, what he would be doing right now. He could possibly even be leading this piece, considering that he's got one of the fastest hot rods out there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's running some really good lap times right now in that 45 machine. That Camaro is certainly getting around this race facility. But if it wasn't for all those Toyotas, Tony, ripping from the back to the front as well, I mean, that 45 of Leo Bonacasa could be further up in the, in the pylon, up in the standings right now as well, if it wasn't for those Toyotas out there. But that's competition. That's going to happen to you as a race car driver. But still, job well done by that 45 machine. You see, he still has plenty of time left before we close, the chapter closed in this one tonight from the Valley of the Sun here at Phoenix. Working lap 91. We're starting to heat back up just a little bit. A lot of traffic right here, all working in close proximity. There you got the 10 of Chris Claude in that 15th position, up 4 spots from where he started. Starting to make his way forward here. Got the 11th.
24th through 28th. As these guys are just all after each other. The floor, Tony Burt trying to get out of the way, trying to stay out of the way. He's taking the correct line there. Looks like he may have grazed the wall going into 1, but checking a little bit further up, it's Aaron Mack working on Rich Jet right now. Mack on the high side, Jet on the low side. So you got Leo Bonacasa all over the two. Chevy on Chevy on Chevy crime right now.
Yeah, and everyone is literally leaning. I mean, they all look at this potentially 3 wide here. They thought better about it, or the 31 just couldn't get the run. quite off the corner, but they are exactly like you said, Tony. This is a dogfight right here. Like you went in the trenches on the front line out there on the battlefield. The 77, the 31, the 95 of Mac, or the 31 of Mac, I'm sorry. As they are just, oh, look at.
Unreal.
I thought
we
31
were gonna
just.
have a caution right there.
I did too as well. As that's, again, great situational awareness by that 31 machine, Aaron Mack. Is I thought he was going to mac the back of that race car there, but it did not happen. As he was able somehow to get it wound up in time. Now he starts to wind or just calm things down a little bit back here, right on that 17th place position. Dave Regal just in back of this, another Toyota out there on the field. He's up 13 spots tonight. There he is. Old Mr. Rogers there in the race car. Probably got some Kenny G playing on the in-car app or Toyota Care app.
You're not right.
Always got to make sure he's paying attention. I know if he jumps in here after the race, he heard it, but that's okay. Just showing him the love and appreciation. Dave Regal out there getting it done. Inside the top 15. Good job, man.
And for those who are wondering why we're giving Dave Regal such a hard time, it's because he's one of ours. He's a fellow broadcaster. As a matter of fact, he'll be in the booth for Monday night Xfinity and Tuesday night Trucks as part of the SNN banner.
Yeah, not just any broadcaster, a darn good broadcaster. I learned so much from him, so much from you, Tony. And that man, I owe him a lot. He's certainly one of the best in the business. Is that 8 machine out there on the racetrack? Looks like he's starting to get that car dialed in a little bit better. Rotating the corners while he's getting good runs off. Under braking, that car is nice and smooth and planted in the racetrack. Not seeing any tail whipping, tail hops jumping out at me when I'm watching that car get around the racetrack. So good job there. Hopefully you continue to march on forward to go back up front here. Oh, getting hot and heavy. The 21, he's going to cut it down to the bottom side. The 69, he's going to swing the thing around the lap car there of Emily Urias. And it is business as usual as the 69 and the 21 re-engage, and it's full-fledged warfare out here on the racetrack. Here he comes back on the offensive. The 21. Oh, he thought he was going to slide up and make a little bit of contact there. But great driving there as both drivers were able to keep the stop from leaning on each other as they go through that the most treacherous part of the corner there when those cars were really loaded up.
And the thing to remember, too, is because they are battling as hard as they are, Alex Murray is now 3 3/4 seconds up the road.
It doesn't sound like much, but, at 150 miles an hour, you'd be surprised how much ground you cover in a second, let alone almost 4 seconds. I mean, Murray's basically out there running a race of his own right now, bar he has any lap traffic around him. And the more the 21 and the 69 continue to just beat, or not bang, but run side by side here, not only are they using up those rest of those tires on that race car, that's going to allow the competition behind them to close back in as well. As you see there, the 30 of Jeremy Miller getting ready to throw his hat in the ring as he's going to weld the bead right on the back of the 69. As he's just sitting just off back of this. If these guys make a slip, look for him to go on the prowl there and take the advantage. The reason he's going to take it right now is he's going to take it all the way down to the dog leg, trying to get that run, that position. But I think the tires there just weren't able to get it done as he did not have the help of the banking there to help that car rotate.
And they're just moving their way around a car that if you would have told me at the beginning of the race this would be the case, Joe Stafford are already mired back in 31st, first car before 1 or more laps down right now.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing that as well, Tony.
He got caught up in 2 incidences early that, weren't of his doing. He had help both times. The good news is when we get to the stage break, he should be free pass car.
Yes, as long as it stands right now, that 57 would be in the prime position to be the beneficiary of a lucky dog. Also get an opportunity to work on that race car a little bit more. See if he can get it back to that lightning speed he had early on before he got caught up in those incidences early.
Checking back in here, just inside the top 10 with Chad Sander, Alex Prince, and Nick Stein. And Rodrigo logo right there is with as well in the 03. The 02 is Stein continues to backslide. He's not pulling back in the clutch with Sean Rogers.
Comers and goers, how many times have we seen that at Phoenix before, Tony, over the years? That's just a byproduct of this racetrack. As the track conditions change, as more rubber gets worn into this racetrack, the angle of the sun as we transition throughout the course of the day, you know, these race cars they're gonna shine at certain times, and at other times they're gonna fall off a little bit. And that's the movement or the conveyor belt in both directions. Movers coming to the front, goers going to the back. And that tends to cycle a couple times throughout the course of the race. But then again, when you have Toyotas in the field like Alex Murphy, Travis Crayborg, Jeremy Miller, RJ Root, and company, that's not going to happen as easily at the very front of the field, as it's been Toyota Fest, and it still continues to be through the first top 4 positions. One Chevrolet, Tanner, still holding strong in that Chevrolet in the 29. But that Toyota camp is bad, fast, and protecting the top 5, top 6 spots all day.
Yeah, but take a look at right now what's going on with Alex Murray. He's 5 1/4 seconds to the good over his teammate, which would be right there, the 21 of Travis Crayborg, who Travis has led more laps this season than anyone else. He just doesn't have the finishes that are indicative of that. But he's leading that, I dare say we call it the peloton of Crayborg, Miller, Root, Sheridan. And then from Sheridan, you're almost 2 full seconds back to the first non-Toyota in Tanner Marty. These Toyotas are just putting on an absolute clinic right now. Checking back in here in the top 20, that's Steve Giberson. And he's working with Brian Tarnowski.
Yeah, Tarnowski in that 28, Giberson in the 60. Up 18 and 20, or 17 and 19 spots respectively out there on the racetrack. Very quietly moving their way forward throughout the first 110 laps in this one. And some of these guys just, really showing some muscle here over the course of the long run where that's set up in that race car. And with those drivers, what the driver likes to feel where they excel at this point in the run are really starting to shine. See Dave Regal there in that 8 machine working the top side of the racetrack. Top shelf where Mama likes to hide the cookies, as Rick Jenneret used to say in Buffalo over the years for so long. Probably some of the greatest words in broadcast or radio history, if you ask me. Hey, Tony, I think you'll agree with me on that one.
Absolutely.
60 there, 60 Steve Giberson up 22 spots now.
And if you ever want to hear some of the best RJ calls ever, YouTube the phrase "Dance of the Goons," and you'll see a music video that a buddy of mine put together with his punk band. And it talks about Ty Domi and Rob Ray just throwing hands. And it's some of the best RJ calls ever.
That was back when he was, not that he was ever out of his pride, but he really used to get fired up. And when that man got fired up, you never knew what was going to come out of his mouth. And oftentimes it was legendary. It was shots sent around the NHL world. I'll never forget those moments as a kid growing up. Getting back here on the NASCAR side of things. These guys and girls.
Speaking about the NASCAR side of things.
Yeah, Spivey is silently up to 13th. make that 12th as he just, oh, look out. Save it. I tell you, Tony, it's like the broadcaster's curse, Tony. I mean, this guy has been quietly, firmly planted coming through the field. The minute we talk about him, he about had lunch with the outside wall there. So he had to really wheel it towards the bottom of the racetrack to gather it up, and he does. That 22 with a moment there. Good job on the save there, Spivey.
Absolutely. As we're going to check in with Aaron Mack, as he's getting around Chris Claude right now. Right in front of him, that's Dave Regal and Jeff Carson going after each other. This is Matt, Claude, and Jet behind them, running stem to stern right now. As that Toyota of Claude not having a good time of it right now. He's -6, whereas everybody around him is +3 or better.
Yeah, Chris Claude right there in that about that 15th position. He's been within a few positions of that 15th spot pretty much all day. I mean, it's not horrible, but not where he wants to be. Oh, as he decides it's time to make an early or make a late decision to come down pit road. Great job getting on the stoppers, as that pit road speed is crawling. So he's currently working towards his box here, going to go to work on that race car. Look for an adjustment, 4 brand new tires on that race car. And back on his way as we see other takers now, the 40 coming in. Come one, come all. Usually the story here at Phoenix is that's the 30 of Jeremy Miller. Or the 40, I'm sorry. That's Alex Murray. My mistake. That 40 has been right up there on the cusp of leading the race so many times today. Spending most of it in that second, third place position. Let's see if the rest of the Toyota camp decides to follow 40 down pit road. You see the Cheetos machine, that's going to be the... Oh, I'm having a brain fart here. Tony, help me out.
What? I don't know what you were trying to say.
It's irrelevant. I was trying to make a comment on the Cheetos car. I forgot what the number was, and I was having a time
11.
with it there. Thank you, sir. The 11.
Oh, here we go. Kraborg's in.
Yeah, if Kraborg's in, you know the rest of the Toyotas should be coming down here momentarily.
Within the next lap or so, anyways.
Or you would think, because we're already at lap 120. See the 22 service complete.
Unless the rest of them think that they can make it the rest of the way to the stage caution, which I believe is coming up on 133.
Yeah, that's what I had, 133 as well. I mean, technically, is it possible? I would like to roll the dice to try to push it that far.
Well, the thing
But
is,
hey,
with the opening segment of this race, we weren't able to really get, a good fuel mileage reading because we had so many gosh darn cautions. This second segment so far has been caution free.
No, it's been a complete change of the extremes, right? Complete roll of the dice, different in very drastic different ways. Caution after caution. It just seemed like we couldn't get out of those those yellow flags were just killing us. And now, these drivers have got this sorted out. They've calmed down a little bit, like we were talking about. And now here comes Miller.
And that's going to hand the lead of the race back over to RJ Root as he's got Brandon Sheridan all over him right now. Sheridan plus 36. Make that plus 37 as he edges out to the front of RJ Root. Good grief.
And while that has transpired out there on the racetrack, my frames of the broadcast have come to a screeching halt.
All right then.
As I'm getting a temp warning on my GPU that I'm going to quickly adjust, and I will be right back with you, Tony, but I will be up here in the booth.
Take your time. There is Sheridan, your new leader of the races. He has gotten by RJ Root. The 79, now that is a lap car. Trying to get his lap back the hard way. That's Matt Gaskins in the body armor number 79. Here comes Chris Claude trying to get his lap back the hard way. As RJ Root brings it down pit side, Sheridan the only one to stay out from those top 5. And I don't know how well this is going to work for him. Considering there's Alex Murray, who didn't go a lap down as Sheridan is now in. Murray and Krogh were going after each other there for a minute.
And I believe Sheridan was the last of the Toyotas, if I remember correctly.
He absolutely was. And it looks like 4 in fuel for everybody. Nobody wanting to gamble on a 2-tire strategy yet. So your new leader, or old leader again, is Alex Murray. John Krogh, 7, almost 8 seconds to the arrears. Of course, Krogh still has to come down. He was last down pit road on lap 62. Same goes for the 9 of Jeff Carson. I don't know. Looks like some of these guys might be trying to leg it out to the stage break.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Tony, as I'm listening to you call this. Just about set to come back in live with you. Thank God for hardware monitor, if I could have been breaking the bank here.
Right.
There we go. This GPU temp alerts went flashing and alert me all over the place. That got a little scary there for a moment.
Understandable. I can see where that would be a little bit of an eye-opener.
It's like these guys, SNN, they work hard and they race hard out on the racetrack. All those competitors mean your rig's going to work hard right with them, and sometimes those fans just got to be a little more proactive. And we gave it a nice little boost there. She'll be good the rest of the night now.
And I'll be darned if I can find the graphic that had the when the stage breaks were going to be. I just cannot find that graphic anymore.
You know, if you're like me, Tony, that would probably be in front of you all night long up until you need it. And then it does everything it can in its power to avoid you.
Yeah, that's no lie. But regardless. As we check back in with the race leader, Alex Murray is 16, almost 17 seconds up the road over Jeremy Miller.
That's like halfway across the state, and you know, just to put that into perspective, I mean, 16 seconds, that's an eternity. That you don't see that every day.
3/4 of a lap.
That is a ton of distance to make up. I mean, 3/4 of a lap, that's a tall ask. But that just goes to show you how much speed is in that race car.
And we're still not to the halfway mark yet. So that's all we're waiting for before we step away to pay some more bills. Is we're going to see when the stage caution is going to come out. I believe it's going to be at the halfway mark. Which would
Tony,
be,
if I'm a betting man,
it would be 153 if that was the case. 156,
Which-
sorry, 156.
And that would make sense now why we saw, pit stops, across the board there as we were a little off on our anticipation to that stage break, as it's a little further out in the range of that 150, 155 area. But here we go once again on the racetrack. Two Toyotas duking it out. The 74, Brandon Sheridan, working the bottom side of the racetrack, getting the job done over the 19 here of Alex Prisson, who is up. They're both up 29 spots respectively, Tony. 74 and the 19, they're up 29 spots, occupying the final two positions inside the top 10, 9th and 10th.
As they were
That is
leaning
just
on each other hard coming through 1 and 2. That's going to let Sheridan get back by Brinson.
Yeah, it's almost like they said, hey, come here, I'm going to help you make it through this corner. We're going to do this together. As they were about fixated.
Locked to the hip, if you will. Checking back up here inside the top 5, this Tanner Marty and Jason Gibson starting to go after each other. You do have the lap car in front of them. That's Steve Giberson, who's just gotten his lap back from those two. But there is Tanner, your highest running bow tie, in third right now. And Gibson right now is just stalking it.
Yeah, Tanner in that 29 machine, he's kind of been like the lone mercenary out there, if you will, well inside the top 5, who isn't anything affiliated with Toyota. Doing a great job in that 29 machine all day long, as he has caution out of the racetrack, Tony. Right before we get ready to transition to the stage break, lap 137, yellow takes over Phoenix.
Looks like Tony Burt. Let's see what happened to the 4 here. Is down on the low side, trying to keep low, and just
Yep.
Wow. Let's watch that again from Brian Tarnowski's onboard.
Oh, this ought to be good. Yeah, Tarnowski had seats you couldn't buy for this one.
How did he miss that?
I have no clue. And how many times have we seen that tonight so far?
Once. All the other accidents have been coming off the dog leg. That's the first one we've really seen coming across the coming down the hallway.
I'll give you that, Tony. I wasn't talking maybe so much about strategic position on the racetrack, but there's just been a lot of moments on this race throughout the course of this race that woulda, coulda, shoulda, and that one right there, like you said, just how? Just great driving tonight.
Well, we see a lot of takers coming down pit road here. As we are not that far off from
yeah, lap 140 right now as it stands, under caution, of course. Did have a good amount of takers down there on pit road once again. JC Gibson and that 20 spots in that 27 machine. Another Toyota. He's taking his turn at the front. The 40, Alex Murray. The 74, Brandon Sheridan, Alex Prisson. Up, and these guys are up 35 spots. 35 in position 3 and 4, respectively. When I talk about Toyota power and drive, doesn't matter where they started. I mean, these guys were all the way back, and they were coming out of the woods in this race, virtually, and now right at the top of the pylon, inside the top 5.
You got Gibson in the 27, who is plus 20. Alex Murray started second. He currently runs in second. Brandon Sheridan and Alex Princeton in third and fourth are both 35.
Yeah, 35 to the... I can't remember the last time I've ever seen that.
I don't think we've ever actually seen that. I mean, that far forward on a non-plate track.
You're right, Tony. The only place where you might have seen that or where you would think it would be possible, Talladega, Daytona. Certainly not here in Phoenix, but that is the story, at least here in the AI realm, or the simulation realm, the sim realm, the digital world. It's almost like the Toyotas they have. I mean, their camp is so good. They have a couple fall off. They got a couple more foot soldiers to come right up there and take the spots at the front. And I mean, Alex Murray, he has been a boulder just concreted in that second position pretty much all day, as he's going to have the outside front row.
Green, green, green.
Best look in the house as they go back to the green flag side of things here from Phoenix International Speedway one more time. The 27 is going to get a really good start as he's going to rock it out over Brandon Sheridan. The 74, the 40 of Alex Murray swarming on the back of that 74 machine's bumper right now, trying to see if he can find a little piece of daylight. Going to back off just a little bit here. Is right around, there you go, right there, that 03 machine, the 69. We've seen him up front earlier as well. As this is really where the action is. As this field is just flexing and pulsing. You can pitch a blanket, pitch a tent right over top of these guys. That's how close they are relative to one another out there on the racetrack. You see the 29. He's been the highest running Camaro all day today. That Tanner Marty J really holding it down up front.
Coming to the dog leg that last time, it was a complete Waffle House moment. This track just scattered, smothered, and covered in race cars.
Yeah, thank God no one got in the bacon grease.
True story. As Alex Murray finally got by the 27 of Gibson. Now, Gibson does have the oldest tires in the top 5 right now. He came down on 119. Everybody else 126 or later. As the 16 seconds is what he was leading before all hell broke loose. Now that's gone.
Yeah, definitely probably the biggest loser out there on the racetrack as a result of that caution.
He's still plus 16, though. That's the good news.
This is true.
We're not quite to the halfway mark yet. About 10 laps away from halfway.
Yeah, 10 laps away from halfway, and as long as we're, running sub 30-second lap times, we'll get there in no time. It's those cautions that just really tend to slow things down and kind of just disrupt the flow of these drivers as they pace themselves and they get into that rhythmic action out there on the racetrack and hitting their marks. Very critical here at Phoenix, at this racetrack especially, as we watch the Toyotas here up front again, continuing to run the gauntlet. You can see they're really spread out right now, just giving everybody plenty of room as they know they're coming to the stage break here, the second one of the evening here tonight. You got the 40, the 30, the 69, the 74, as you mentioned before, up 34 spots. Tanner just holding it down for everyone else pretty much. The only other manufacturer consistently inside the top 5 tonight, Tanner in that 29 machine, looking like the Kevin Harvick of old.
Oh, hang on to her.
Oh, that was a 1-2 whack-a-mole.
We stay green, though.
Great job. I mean, again, they got sideways, a little tire smoke, but they didn't crash.
Well, somebody did. Austin Story crashed way off track, but we had just switched to watch that battle with Rodrigo Loga. Him and Randy Spicer were going after each other, and then all hell broke loose going into one.
Yeah,
let's go back and take a look at what happened to Austin Story here.
Yeah, what is story on that one?
And you're going to see it pop off in front of him there. 79 gets loose, gets put into the wall, breaks the right front suspension off the car.
Yeah, see, I didn't even catch that. Is when when that camera went live on my end, it was like a three-way competition drift.
It was. But we stay green and he stays running, so we go back live. Checking in here inside the top 10. It's battle for 6 between Sean Rogers, Brandon Sheridan, and Steve Cornez. Don't count out Chad Sanner.
No, definitely don't count out Chad Sanner, as he's sitting just lurking a couple car lengths back off of this. Playing the Pied Piper, if you will, just watching to see if one of these guys in this hot, heated battle just in front of them make a mistake. Often, if they do, you know Sanner will capitalize on that moment. If they do, but it looks like he may take things into his own hands as he's starting to close in on the back dumper, putting the heat on the 74 of Brandon Sheridan. As he knows these laps to the stage break here are winding down. These points, you got to be careful when you send it in there like that.
Another coat of paint, those guys would have been in trouble.
Yeah, that was slim pickings for sure. You probably couldn't fit a couple sheets of paper in the gap between those race cars. But again, we stay green. Chad Sanner on the move. At 74, Brandon Sheridan still holding on inside the top 10. Can't say enough about that drive, the determination of that driver inside that race car. He's had one heck of a run. I mean, at one point he was plus 34 spots tonight. He's still plus 29. Hats off to that 74. Hopefully he can close it out and finish strong here this evening.
As another big mover is J.C. Gibson, he had the pole when we went back to green, has now slipped back down to 12. He's feeling all sorts of pressure from that Toyota 19, the Onyx 19 of Alex Princeton. Princeton looking to the inside, looking to go plus 27. This is your battle for 12th, door to door.
Yeah, he gets, hello, as he almost accidentally comes up there and gives him the old chrome horn on the back of that race car. He used every bit of that dog leg in that 19 machine. Oh, and caution, is that the stage break? I believe so. Oh no, we had definitely been some carnage out there on the racetrack.
Something with Nick Stein. Let's take a look at what happened with Stein here. But that should be the stage break as well. You see Stein on the top side, Spivey to his inside, Kavaja Holt right behind him. Oh!
Oops! Oh,
oh my!
No, he gets the hot stepper right off the back of that Mustang.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. And now he has Bluetooth left rear suspension.
Yeah, as he kind of just gave him the old 1-2 double tap there. The first one got him sideways, and that second one really sent him for a ride. Go on board here. Oh, it's going to be a face full of Ford Mustang.
You see Kavaja Holt coming down the hallway. Tap, tap.
Boom.
Good night.
Yep.
Oy.
That was a 1-2-3 shot. I thought it was a 2 shot.
Well, it was 3 quick ones. Jab, 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 gone.
Yep. Or jab, 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 finish him.
Oh yeah, you can see that left rear suspension is toast.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, that front tire is not supposed to be pointing that way. I'm surprised it's not crab walking just a little bit more than what it is. That 02 has some severe damage to the chassis of that race car. As you can see, the tires on that car, most of them are not pointing the way they should be. as he gets a turn down pit road, able to keep it in one piece. But once again, more caution out on the racetrack as we have a caution simultaneously with the stage break.
Well, that's just it. I don't know if that was the stage break because we're seeing a lot of guys stay out here. Either way, we're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen One Lawn Care. Preen One does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different products. It has everything you need for a beautiful lawn in one bag. And all it takes is one application. For season-long weed control and feeding, apply the granules when the lawn is wet and weeds are actively growing. It blocks crabgrass all season. It prevents crabgrass seeds from growing. It kills the seedlings too, even when applied 4 weeks after they sprout. It's your best defense against tough weeds like dandelion, chickweed, henbit, and hundreds more. Plus, its slow-release formula feeds the lawn evenly for months to build stronger roots for maximum heat and drought resistance. Preen One delivers convenience and better performance in one package with one application. Spend more time enjoying your lawn and less time working on it. Preen One, and it's done. It's a lawn dream come true.
And we are back at Phoenix as the pace car peels on off. Down the hallway they come. Alex Murray with the button as we get ready to turn them back loose here. Working lap 161. We're going to restart on 162 of 312 here tonight. And what a race we've seen so far, Matt.
Yeah, it's been unpredictable. We've had early cautions on this one, and we've had a lot of great restarts here tonight when we're watching these Toyotas just dogfight. One thing I love, man, that dog leg, I can't get enough of it on the initial start of this race, is it produces some crazy, insane aggressive racing right up front throughout the course of the field as they fan out and utilize that dog leg. But after that, it's a little scary for me personally, but hey, we're back to green flag racing. Everyone's right back up on top of each other. That gives everyone the best chance possible to move their position forward before we do get to that stage break. And you can see the urgency out there out of the racetrack. Oh, as we're 3 wide, it's difficult to make that work. As they decide better and they get it sorted out amongst themselves. That was right around that 29 machine and that 44 of Tanner Marty. I'm sorry, that 29 of Tanner Marty and the 44 of Sean Rogers. All right there in the thick of it.
74, Brandon Sheridan coming out of the winning end of that whole exchange, though.
Oh, big contact.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And I mean, they super speedway hit the wall. 45-degree angle, like that was big.
Well, let's see what happened to Kavaja Holt here. As you see the Bluetooth front suspension on that ride.
Kavaja got destroyed. Just wait for it.
There it is! Oh!
And you had the Donkey Kong chain reaction there to finish off at the end. As more cars come in and get stuck in the carnage as they had nowhere to go. He got hooked and they both ended up hooking hard into the outside wall there. Watch this again as we go to the top side from the blimp.
Keep your eye on the 19 on the low side. He's going to get squirrely when he goes down through the dog leg. Right there. Kavaja tries to go with him, and then they just netcode lock up, and the 59 caught air.
Yeah, the 59 caught air, and then it was New Wax City all behind him There's other cars coming in, administering additional blows to the back of those race cars that just took a tremendous impact into the outside retaining wall here at Phoenix. And see, Tony, again, just that's why I have those feelings on that dog leg, because it has the ability to do what it just did.
I've never liked the open dog leg. Ever. Like, as soon as this track came out with an open dog leg configuration, I hated it. In every league that I ever ran in that they let us vote which layout we wanted to run, I voted against the open dog leg.
You love it when it works out in your favor, and you hate it when you're on the other side.
No, I just hate it. Plain and simple. Because there's two mindsets. The mindset A of there's nothing in the rules to say I have to let you back up on the racing surface.
Technically, there's not, correct.
But if we're going into the corner and you're still down on the apron, we're not making turn one.
No, we're not. And the other thing is, if I don't let you back on the racetrack, are you just going to come up and door slam me out of the way and make a spot for yourself?
Exactly. You know, so it's a catch-22. You know, it's the same thing when I ran, I believe it was an IndyCar league, and we ran Michigan, and somebody, you know, yelled about not being let back up. Like, dude, you're off the racing surface. Slow down. You get back in. You chose to drive onto the apron. That's not the racing surface. That's the apron.
Right, that's the apron. Exactly. It's not the racing surface. And just because you can doesn't mean you shall receive when you come back up on the racetrack in the form of a lane for you to just nonchalantly slide back into. As we've seen,
especially, you know, especially when you're driving an IndyCar, that you can hug that apron line all the way around a place like Michigan. You know, I mean, Cup car, that'd be a different story, but you can hug that yellow line and not scrub off, you know, the speed that you would in, say, a Cup car or something like that. So,
yeah, those are like,
you know, it's on you.
No, you're right. They're like slot cars out there just ripping.
Exactly.
You know, that pace car is going to pull off one more time, and the story continues tonight. The tale of the Toyotas. Those TRD machines are quick here this evening. Is it 69 time up front again with RJ Root, Alex Murray in the 40.
Green flag, green flag.
He's got his brothers.
And pulls the trigger.
Murray has it. He slams it. Here comes the 69. Everyone taking good use of that dog leg once again. It's a 69 and the 30. They were almost on top of each other as they came back up out of the racetrack. 74. He's going to be working about a half lane up. Currently in that third place position, up 35 spots. Now he continues to climb the ladder. Oh, that's not good.
That's Travis Craneboard.
Yeah, the 21 there, Travis Craneboard.
You see him on the outside of Spivey. Gets the run. Down the hallway he comes. Tries to split the two Argentinians and misses.
Yeah, basically just got broken half there.
And everybody missed him.
And that's the silver lining. That's the best part, because that should have been disastrous, especially just after a restart and everyone virtually stacked on top of each other, especially relative to where he came to stop out there on the racetrack.
Good grief.
Attrition continues to happen out here as the casualties continue to mount. Godzilla got a good look at that one.
Yeah, he did. As we're looking at 13 cars left on the lead lap. A couple retirements to speak of. Kavaja Holt has decided to put it on the hauler after 164 laps. Nick Stein has put it on the hauler after 157 laps. Austin Story, 149, has put it on the hauler. Tony Burt is still on pit road trying to get that engine changed. Ryan Samuelson, Emily Urias, Zach Osborne, Bennett Allen, RP. Bennett Allen and RP Allen have all put it on the hauler. Nicholas Breidenbach has spent the last hour on pit road.
Yeah, it's a lot of torn up race cars. And yeah, these next gen cars, they're tough, but they're not going to take, that type of just repetitive abuse out there on the racetrack. Really admire some of the effort by some of these competitors in the pits. Some of them in there over an hour, as Tony mentioned, because points are ever so critical. And if there's positions to be made out there before this one expires, you betcha they're going to go back out there, because each one of those positions counts, as we've seen over and over again, how critical each point is as we get to, before we come down here to playoff time later on in the season. So get the points while you can. Believe me, they matter. They can certainly make you or break you at the end. But what's breaking these guys tonight, if you're not in the Toyota camp, that is just the speed of these Toyotas up front. Is they're like the Guardians of the Galaxy up here, just a massive shield preventing the Fords and the Chevrolets from just getting up there and having, have opportunity to really show out and lead this thing here tonight. Because right now, the 71 machine of Dave Fugue, I think that's the highest Ford I've seen up there all night inside the top 5 there, separating the Toyota dominance, positions 1 through 6 right now. And then again, you get outside of 6, Toyota, is shuffling just a little bit, but those Toyotas have just been so fast in a league of their own, if you will, up at the point tonight.
That is absolutely the case. Dave Frug has kept a pretty quiet race, currently sitting plus 17 in 5th as the pace car peels on off to go down pit road. That leads Alex Murray with the button as they come down the hallway. Murray and Root started on the front row, just reverse of how they're sitting right now. Brandon Sheridan's plus 35.
Green flag, green flag.
That number still continues to just memorize me as we go back to green flag conditions out here again at Phoenix. No surprise up front. It is a slugfest as we are screaming up through the gears one more time. The 74, the 69, they are fighting it out right now for that 3rd place position. You know who that man is. That is R.J. Root. He has been fast throughout the course of this one, as has his other buddies right up there with him. That 74 machine, Brandon Sheridan, continuing to run the gauntlet, climb the ladder. He's got one more spot, and he's made it from virtually all the way to the back to the front, as we are 3 and 4 wide, just sending it into the dog leg. No surprise there. Travis Krayborg looking like a cyborg out there. The way that he is just manhandling that race car, as he really gets aggressive there, gets that car really deep into the corner, working the bottom side of the racetrack there, rotating right on that yellow line.
He was leaning on Steve Cornez through 1 and 2 as Cornez starts to backslide now. He's got to work Brady Spivey. Spivey all over the back bumper of the Argentinian. I believe that's Argentina.
You're talking about Seba Cornez there.
I am. It could be Colombian flag. I don't know which.
Well, at least we got the continent right.
Correct. 3 wide situation is baby. Here comes the 9, who is a lap car. That's Jeff Carlson. Carson got caught up in a couple of early ones and went some laps down now. We're only showing 14 on the lead lap. Dave Regal being scored as the last car as such.
Yeah, Regal holding on right now. SRM's own, one of the GOATs in the broadcast booth. He is praying for a caution right now. There he is. We go take a look at that 8 machine. Still got it nice and clean. That Toyota's looking good out there on the field tonight. Currently working in that 7th place position.
And look who won the pony so far. Brandon Sheridan, plus 37, is leading this piece and starting to pull a gap on Alex Murray.
He is leading. Okay, think about what this man just accomplished. I mean, he was out in the forest, the woods, like back where they used to sit outside the, turn 3 up on the hill when they started this race. And now, thank you, Tony. I knew you'd probably have a name for it. And now he is leading the race. And he's not just leading, he is pulling away from these Toyotas that have just dominated the front of the field. No qualifying, no problem. 74 says another day in the office of the 74. Another day in the office inside this Toyota Camry. Is he's out there making it look easy. And as you know, Tony, it is anything but that. But that 74 is going places.
Oh, it absolutely is. And, it's got to be a good feeling knowing that you've made it this far. You're at the pinnacle of how far forward you can go in this field with as deep as you started. Now, a lot of those early cautions did help him, being as he didn't get collected in them. So the luck has been on his side here tonight. We're working lap 182 of 312. Can he hang on the rest of the way? That's the big question.
Well, if you want to talk about momentum and all the carnage that he has been able to survive and overcome, I'm going to stop there just because I do not want to curse this man.
Too late.
But you would... Thank you, Tony. I appreciate the love and support there. But you know where I'm going with that.
Oh, yeah. Now, another guy who's on a good recovery drive, Travis Claiborne, already back up to 4th. He's working the inside on Murray right now for 3rd.
Yeah, kind of picking up where he left off early in this one, as he was a force to be reckoned with early. And he's returning to form right now, working on the inside of that 40 machine. Murray just didn't quite have the corner speed there to keep the 21 behind him, and he's going to give him the spot as we continue to eat deep in the dog leg as we come back up the banking, back onto the racetrack. And it's a Toyota party in the USA up front. Top 6, all TRD affiliated vehicles, race cars. And it is impressive to watch them just put on a clinic. They are serving it up here in the desert. Brandon Sheridan, the biggest story, though. I mean, my goodness.
We're on board with Travis Claiborne right now. You see JC Gibson right in front of him.
Yeah, JC Gibson, he's currently in 2nd. Also another driver that's been really competitive tonight. Well inside the top 5 most of the night.
Look at him sawing on that wheel through 3 and 4.
Yeah, he was jawing on that thing. As they used to say back in the day, you got to hold a pretty wheel. And you typically don't see him.
Break.
And that right there is a much welcome break. Chance for these drivers to catch their breath as we get reloaded, reset to bring you the final stage here tonight. That stage, you guessed it, the man of the hour running the gauntlet here tonight in Phoenix, that 74 machine, Brandon Sheridan. He's going to get the stage win, followed by Jason Gibson, Travis Claiborne, Alex Murray, RJ Root, the top 5. As here we go, pit road is about to become the most popular place here on site. It's everybody coming down looking for service on their race car, Tony.
Absolutely, as we will be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere, we're going side by side.
There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen One Lawn Care. Preen One does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different products. It has everything you need for a beautiful lawn in one bag. And all it takes is one application. For season-long weed control and feeding, apply the granules when the lawn is wet and weeds are actively growing. It blocks crabgrass all season. It prevents crabgrass seeds from growing. It kills the seedlings too, even when applied 4 weeks after they sprout. It's your best defense against tough weeds like dandelion, chickweed, henbit, and hundreds more. Plus, its slow-release formula feeds the lawn evenly for months to build stronger roots for maximum heat and drought resistance. Preen 1 delivers convenience and better performance in one package with one application. Spend more time enjoying your lawn and less time working on it. Preen 1, and it's done. It's a lawn dream come true.
And we are back at Phoenix as part of the Sunday Night NASCAR round number 4. Brandon Sheridan winning the battle off pit road after stage number 2. Let's see what's going to happen here for the final stage. Sheridan plus 37. JC Gibson starting from outside plus 19. Green flag comes out to 21 at Craneboard. Great recovery drive for him after almost going a lap down at one point, as they're almost 3 wide going into 1.
Yeah, the final drive of the night here in Phoenix. One more time, one stage to go. Just like Tony, you were saying, 3 wide there. Really getting after it on these restarts. They have certainly been intense over the course of this 191 laps so far. Story of the night continues to be those Toyotas. That the Toyota Shield preventing everyone else from getting up there inside the top 5, top 6 virtually all night long. And the number one guy in the field right now carrying the torch, he is the biggest mover of the race. The 74 up 37 positions. Look at the 30 here, working really hard on the back corner there of Craneboard. That 21 machine, that was close. Oh, look out. That's tight.
3 wide. Why?
Yeah, 3 wide again.
Why?
Tony, I'm not sure. I mean, you're virtually teammates, or you're all running the same manufacturer, having great success. No reason really to do that right there, then and now, but they get it straightened out and they get it squared away between the mix of them out there on the racetrack. As the 21 and the 30 continue to go back at it like they have so many times tonight. The 21 trying to get it done the hard way on the top side. Oh, I think they just touched just a little bit there.
Yeah, the 30 of Miller got into him just a little bit. Nothing major, but that's going to open the door for RJ Root to get back to the inside. Root down to the inside, going through 1 and 2, almost 3 wide. We are 3 wide yet again. Oh, I don't think my blood pressure can handle this much more.
And then you throw in the dog leg there, and you had basically almost 4 wide.
And then we go back to the first bow tie. That's going to be Sean Rogers, Captain America himself, in the 44, as he's following J.C. Gibson around this place. And then you're over half a second back to Tanner Marty, who's not been outside the top 10 all race long.
No, he hasn't. He's certainly been the strongest of the others, and I hate to even put it that way, but I mean, that is the case with that 29 machine. That Camaro has been solidly in the top 10 all night tonight. I mean, one of the very few other cars in the field that doesn't start with Toyota that has been competitive through all phases of the race. Tanner Marty has to be very happy with what he accomplished so far. One more phase of it to go for that 29 camp. Can they get a couple more spots? Currently, 8th position on the board. They've been higher up in the running order here tonight. Look for them to get a couple more spots here as we continue to wind this third and final stage down from Phoenix. Tony, as we get deeper into these runs, as the laps wind down, that means the level of racing on the racetrack can only come up. And I'm not so sure how possible that is, but it always finds a way to do so, and it does. And we're already starting to see that is up front there, continuing to slug it out. And look at that 69 of RJ Root. He's flexing up front, showing some muscle, getting back up to the point. He's going to take the torch back from the 74, 69 time again as RJ Root leads here late in Phoenix as he goes back down to that corner. Man, he is making that bottom really work for him, especially early on in the run. He's able to carry so much speed down low, but here comes the 74. He's going to try to run him down to the corner, just get the advantage there, not able to close it. He's going to fall back off the back of that 69, who has just been so fast, especially early on in these runs. Oh, the 30 is going to come block down to block the 21. He's going to have to jump outside of him or make contact. That's going to allow the 40 of Alex Murray to come in and start. Oh, here we go again, Tony, 3 wide or close to it.
Well, what could possibly go wrong here?
Oh, right. Another woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Miller and Murray go door to door. 21 able to eke it back out into third. And you know the 44 of Rogers looking to the inside of Gibson right now. Gibson leaves him some room. Not going to pressure it too hard yet. Key term there, yet. Miller and Murray, though, continue to go after each other. The Toyota of RJ Root, the Toyota of Brandon Sheridan, the Toyota of Travis Craneboard, the Toyota of Jeremy Miller, the Toyota of Alex Murray, the Toyota of J.C. Gibson. Then you've got the Chevys of Sean Rogers and Tanner Marty. And then the first Ford in the field, back in ninth, is Dave Fruit Jr., who is plus 13. There you see the mellow yellow of Mustang.
And that's all the way back just inside the top 10 in the 9th place position, the highest blue oval in the field tonight as they run right now.
He's had a strong run all day. You know, he's been slowly and quietly picking off spots. He was in the top 5 at one point.
Yeah, earlier on during that cycle of pit stops, early on, I believe, early in stage 2, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
He's definitely up there. And there's been a couple other, American-related nameplates up there. And the Chevrolets, that 29 machine, we were talking about him earlier. He's been strong up there at times. But those guys are really the exception to the dominance again. I'm just going to start saying TRD because Toyota and Camry just takes, I mean, we've been saying it so much tonight. Just trying to shorten it up a little bit for the sake of the broadcast. But these TRD boys, they've just been, like I said, it's like the Great Wall. You know, just guarding the top 5, top 6 spots. Can anyone penetrate and get through there? We're going to have to find out. And I mean, these guys, they're fighting hard up front too. I mean, they're not single file like they were earlier. I mean, there you go. The 40, the 21. I mean, they're back at it. Fighting for position hard right now. That's going right on back of the 74 machine. While all this is taking place, the 69 is checked out to almost a 2-second lead. There he is. That's your leader, RJ Root. He led early. He's leading late again now. Look at the gap. Is the 74 and 20, as the 74 and the 40 of Alex Murray and the 21 of Travis Crayborg have been battling hard for those second and third positions. It has allowed Raymond to just walk it out on him. And Tony, like you were saying earlier, if they do that, I mean, nothing but smiles inside the cockpit of that race car, knowing that they're using up those Goodyear tires to boot while they're also running slower lap times. Oh, get skinny. You know how many times that's been disastrous out there on the racetrack when they've been in that formation coming out of the dog leg.
Way too often tonight. But right now, the heavy battle is right here with Miller and Cranborg as Cranborg goes high. Completely missed the braking zone going into 3. That's going to open the door for Captain America. Sean Rogers he's going to get by the 21. Moves into 6th. So 5 Toyotas, the Chevy of Rogers, Toyota of Cranborg, the Chevy of Marty, the Toyota of Cornez, and then the Chevy of Rodrigo Loga, rounding out your top 10 as Dave Fruit just slips back just a little bit as your highest running blue oval.
Yep, and that's an 11th. And then you have the shuffle of the Chevy Toyota sandwich there through the later part of the later stages of the top 10 there in the 6th through 10th place positions right now, respectively. However, all business, again, as usual, at the point. Calming down a little bit right now. They probably realize, hey, we're going to burn our stuff completely off the rims of this race car if we do this the entire run. Kind of fall back in line. A little bit of separation between these boys right now. All of the top 4, top 5. And they've been cemented there pretty much all day. These bad, fast Toyotas just making a statement here at the Valley of the Sun. Doesn't matter either. They're fast in the long run. They got great mid-range game, and the long run game is just as good in those race cars. And when you're executing and firing off like that in all 3 phases of the run, I mean, it's going to be really hard for someone to come up there and challenge, Tony.
It is at that, as I'm looking, and it looks like, okay. So yeah, Seba Cornez is from Uruguay. And then you've got the Argentinian of Rodrigo Loga in front of him in 8th. They're separated by not much right now.
Yellow flag is out.
Uh-oh.
Much it on the racetrack. Because Tony went and did some geography homework while he's broadcasting up here in the SRM booth. 95 around.
Let's see what happened to John Crow Sr. here. You see Dave Regal right behind him.
Yeah, something tells me Dave Regal may have been involved here.
Oh, there it is. Dave Regal to the box, 2 minutes cross-checking.
That is a minor penalty. But I mean, I was watching this a little bit earlier on, and to Dave's defense, I mean, he was getting the door slammed on him a lot.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he was getting blocked heavy. Not saying he intentionally meant to open the door, if you will, but I'd be a little frustrated inside the cockpit of that race car too, knowing that the laps are winding down, and I could be moving forward, and you're sitting there just driving 55 in the left lane in the 70-mile-an-hour zone.
Well, the thing is, Dave just got a better run coming off of 3, or coming out of 3 and 4. I mean, there was no malice there. He just got the better run, and the 95
Exactly.
is a victim of circumstance. So
Exactly. And once again, racing deal, if you will.
And check this out. Look who's leading this piece now.
Get out of here.
Dave Regal with a bonus point.
If you want to get everyone talking about you, that's how you do it. On one end of the track, you give them the business, or maybe not the business. You just go up there and slap hands a little bit. Then you end up taking the lead and leading a lap under caution before you come on down and get service on your race car.
Why not?
You're right, Tony. That's certainly one way to do it. Is that'll put the usual suspects, the big players, back to the front. You know who I'm talking about. R.J. Root, Alex Murray, Brandon Sheridan, J.C. Gibson, Jeremy Miller. That's Miller time up front as well. That 30 machine currently in that 5th spot right now. Got a couple Chevys trying to mount up there. Sean Rogers, Tanner Marty. That 29 has been probably the strongest Chevrolet in that camp. And then you got the 03 machine there in 8th. Rodrigo Loga. So 3 Chevrolets now, nose to tail. Let's see if they can get up there and infiltrate that top 5, top 6.
Only time will tell. But we are currently working lap 216 of 312 here, so inside 100 to go finally. As Root, Murray, Sheridan, Gibson, Miller, Rogers, Marty, Loga, Cornez, and Fruit, your top 10. As there go the wave around cars to try to get laps back. That's going to leave us with 20 now on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's a big jump from where we were just a little bit ago during that long green flag stint that we had. A couple cautions. Now we get some more guys that were caught a lap down, back on the lead lap. 20 cars, as Tony said. As we get back, get reset, we go to do it again one more time. We still have a little bit to go when that pace car pulls off of pit road. Is you got to come all the way down and around before you hit that Geico restart zone. Root's ready to rock. He's been hole shotting it well all day long when he's been at the point.
Green flag, green flag.
Murray is certainly no slouch, though, in that 40 machine.
As he comes through the dog leg, fanned out. Oy. Root with the lead, Murray and Sheridan right behind him. Root continuing to show the way, Murray right there with him. Sheridan in 3rd, Gibson, Miller, Rogers, Marty, Cornez, and Loga, and Jet, your top 10 as we currently sit. And here comes Tanner Marty looking to the inside of Captain America. Oh no, that's Steve Rogers. I'm sorry. Captain America's little brother, Sean.
Yes, Steve Rogers, I think, there got up there and just ever so slightly grazed the wall. As you can really see that it's really starting to escalate down there on the racetrack. Couple of Chevrolets there, those Camaros really duking it out door to door. As the highest running bow tie right now looks to be in that 8th position, that 44 machine of Sean Rogers. Look at this. This is tight racing up here, Tony.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
David, what did you do?
I think someone smacked his tasty cakes.
They smacked the Wawa out of his mouth.
The 95, I think it comes from behind. I'm just going to take a guess. There it is. There's the tap.
There's the receipt.
Yep.
It's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Hey, if you send, then you shall receive. If we see it over and over again.
The old adage, do unto others as they have done to you.
Yeah, but the mistake is now that you've tarnished his tasty cakes inside that race car. You're going to see a fire breathing Dave Regal here when he gets out of the pits. That usually makes him find another gear inside that race car. We'll see if he can put that to good use. Get a strong finish here from Phoenix. That was the second part to the first part of the last caution is Dave Regal.
Oh, no.
What's wrong, Tony?
You don't want to know about the text message I just received from the 8 crew.
The 8 crew?
The 8 crew.
You know what? I'll behave, and I'll wait till after the broadcast. You don't have to tell me.
Let's just say that no one in the 8 camp right now is happy.
And you know what? And if that was anyone's camp, I could understand why.
Oh, yeah. But the way that was just phrased... Yeah. We're going to need to keep an eye out for the 95 and the 8 all race long now.
They might have put a pace car between those guys out there on the racetrack. Not that obviously they can do that, but you're right. It might get rowdy and not in a Kyle Busch kind of way. The shots have been fired in Phoenix late, and the gloves sound like they're about to come off. As they're fighting for it hard up in the front. Up here in the Toyota zone, inside the top 6. However, the Chevrolets, they are creeping ever so closer. You got Chevrolets in 6th and 7th. The highest they've been running all day. That's what I'm talking about, that 44 and the 29 right there, Tanner, Sean. Working together. Getting up through the field, knocking on the back door of the top 10, or top 5, Tony.
They are at that. Then you've got the Toyota Siva Cornez, the Toyota of Rodrigo Loga, the Chevy of Rich Jet, the highest running Ford of Randy Spivey in that Mission 22 Mustang, Dave Frug in the Mellow Yellow number 71, another blue oval. Then you've got John Wilco's bow tie, Steve Gibson's blue oval, and Brian Tarnowski's Chevy to round out your top 15. And I believe the lights have just gone out on the pace car. Yes, they have.
So the lights are dark, which can only mean one thing. It's about to get lit back on the racetrack. And a form of those V8s coming roaring back to life one more time. Here from Phoenix International Raceway. We've seen so many times tonight that pace car taking that hard turn off into pit road. The Camrys continue to dominate up front, being led by right now R.J. Root, the 69. I'm telling you, that Alex Murray 40, man, he has been like concreted in second virtually all day long. As RJ says, I'm going to catch you guys snitting on the snooze button there one more time as he's just able to just gap him on the restart.
Bringing the 74 Sheridan with him.
Yeah, bring the 74 Sheridan with him, but he gets such a great initial launch. He's just able to buy himself just that great piece of real estate as they are just lights out behind him battling hard right now. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. What happened this time?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Rewind. Oh, no. Oh, no. The 95 and the 8, they somehow seem to have be involved in each other's business there out on the racetrack. One more time here. The 79 looks to have been innocent bystander in that. Look to have gotten together for crumpets and coffee near the back of the field here. You see the 8 in the middle here. Chris Claude, the 10, the outside, and doink.
Yep, that was uncalled for.
Nonetheless, that's round number 3 now between the 8 and the 95. As they literally keep telling each other, "You're number 1."
And again, if
that,
iRacing is listening, forget about giving us rain. Give us a driver animation.
That would be cool. Can you imagine what we could do with that?
I would drive the whole race like that. Just have it hotkeyed on my steering wheel. Just have that button and middle finger out the window. Especially considering where we're going next week, because it's going to be back to the super speedways of sorts as we go to Atlanta for round number 5.
Active emojis or something of that sort.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. You really see and understand what that person was feeling inside the race car in a whole new way. As often we have to kind of translate and interpretate and come up with our own variation of it. And sometimes we're able to catch it in the interview, but that would be a game changer, Tony. You're absolutely right.
See, I sometimes do have decent ideas.
Haven't heard a bad one yet.
You haven't been paying attention.
I was trying to make you laugh.
I'm full of bad ideas.
For every couple bad ones, you have a really, really good one.
Let's take a look if we can figure out the answer to Nolan Hodgson's question. 15 cautions. 13 if you don't count the 2 stage breaks. Currently working lap 231 of 312. Lights are out on the iRacing pace car. RJ Root gonna have the button one more time. This pace car is in. Here we go.
Yeah, RJ Root certainly has had the shot caller red rocket here tonight. That button in the hand, the old nitro button, if you will, as far as restarts are concerned. He's back on the bottom of the racetrack. Murray on the outside, as we've seen so many times here tonight. Back to green flag racing. Here we go, fellas. This is where it gets really dicey and interesting, as all of those Toyotas are racing in such close proximity. A simple slip, missed the corner just a little bit too hard on the brakes, and you are literally into each other. It's that close. As a 22 now gets kissed from the back. He is able to save it. What a save by the 22. As he just got clobbered. That car was 45 degrees sideways, and he was able to gather it up and continue marching.
Incredible.
How many of those? I mean, I'll tell you what, for every incident we've seen on the racetrack, we have seen a ton of just epic saves tonight out there on the racetrack, time and time again. They have been epic, just about each and every one of them. Great heads up driving there by Randy Spivey.
Definitely had a handful of it there. As we're going to keep a look here from the blimp as he's working his way around Dave Regal.
Yellow.
Ah, crap.
Oh. No, not again. It's this time it wasn't his fault, but he gets caught up in it. As I believe Chris Claude, something happened to the 10.
Oh, that's Brian Tarnowski is the first one that's showing up on my screen. Let's take a look at what happened to the 28 here. Gets nerfed by the 71, down to the inside, spins up the track.
Oh! That's what happened to the 10. Oh my God.
Oh,
he had a face full of where did you come from, and just no time to react, nowhere to go. And he ARCA brakes in there, not intentionally. I mean, watch this.
You'll see it pop off in front of him. We're on board with Chris Claude right now.
Yeah, Claude's going to clatter this race car. I mean, watch this. Boom!
And then gets run over from behind.
And I mean, if you're Chris Claude, I mean, what, Tony, there's nothing you can do.
He was already on the binders. You could hear it.
You're right. I mean, you could hear that clearly that engine was, he was all the way out of the throttle. He was on the binders as hard as he could be. Just watch how fast this cooks off right in front of him, like you said, Tony. Go on board with Claude one more time here. You see the smoke, you see the car scatter, and then before you know it, bam. Just like that. And then you have the other side of that energy finishing off behind the 10 of Claude. But he just clattered that race car. Definitely didn't mean to ARCA brake in there, but that's what happened.
Well, no, he didn't ARCA brake. That was just the fact that you're trying to slow down a 3,700-pound stock car from 150 miles an hour.
Not saying he...
It wasn't stopping.
Exactly. It looked like an ARCA brake, but you just couldn't go anywhere because you're not going to stop that heavy of a race car at that speed, that fast. It's impossible.
Exactly.
So big doings in the back of the pack here, or mid-pack, I should say. As once again, Tony, that iRacing.com pace car, it's making its lease payment here today. Out there on the racetrack one more time. Leading this furious group of Camrys, guarding the top 5, top 6 positions on the racetrack. Make that 7 now, as Cornez comes up and picks up the caboose on the Camry train. Or, I'm sorry, make that correction. I am wrong. Those Chevrolets have now infiltrated the top 5, and they are in the 4th and 5th positions, respectively, being led by the lone pioneer of the bow tie all day. Sean Rogers and Tanner Marty are continuing to claw and fight up now inside the top 5. It has taken them literally under caution run lap 237 laps, but every bit of 234 laps to get there, but they have done it. And now this helps them because this brings the field back together, re-racked and restacked on top of each other.
And you know what else helps? Take a look at that weather conditions right now. The track temperature has dropped to under triple digits.
That's a big one right there. That's going to help the grip. That could play in the favor of those Camaros as well.
We're absolutely going to find out here as RJ Root's going to have the button one more time as he comes down the hallway. Root, Sheridan, Miller, Rogers, Gibson, Marty, Cornez, Loga, Mack, and Wilco, your top 10 as we currently sit.
Green flag.
6 Toyotas, 4 Chevys in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, that's the highest we've seen those Chevrolets in the field all day as they go back at it.
Flag is out.
As they are Oh my goodness, not again. Is this time it's the 60 machine. It's Steve Gilbertson, and that he's up to, I believe he had some trouble early. He started kind of making his way back up through the field there. He got his car finally at least drivable, and now at least he's got caught in some more mayhem on the racetrack again in that 60 machine. See him there going through the dog. Oh, there you go. Oh, and the 77 is the real. He really just gets taken to the cleaners there on the outside wall. Dog leg gone wrong again. And Tony, that didn't look intentional by any means. It's just because you go down into that void doesn't mean there's always going to be an easy lane to come up into.
Steve Giberson just gets nerfed by the 40. The 77 of Jet, nowhere to go.
Yeah, the contact from that initial contact just shoots him up the racetrack. And he just gets sandwiched up there. He's the baloney between the car and the wall there. It's now caution back on the racetrack as we're working lap 238 in the books tonight. 239, almost lap 240. Tony, you think anyone has a set of tires left?
Yeah. Plenty of drivers have tires left. They had 9 total tonight.
Oh, they had 9 sets tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I thought the number was much less. Well, they're definitely going to have some sets in the tires, so that changes where I was going to go with that one.
Dave Regal getting back on the lead lap, which is going to leave us right now with 18, provided Rich Jet and Steve Giberson can get out in front of the pace car.
Yeah, that's a great report there, Tony. As these cautions do allow other competitors to get back on the lead lap, you also do have the, if the wave around does present itself as well, you do have that option as well to get back on the lead lap, put you right back in the thick of things. But you're running out of time each lap that clicks by to go up there and get deep into the front, the top spots in the field here, as they've just been dominated by Toyotas. Still love what those couple Camaros are doing up near the front. They're separated a little bit now, but Sean Rogers in that 44 machine, he's the highest running Chevrolet in 4th. Then you got Rodrigo back in the 7th place position, and Aaron Mack up 19 spots in 8th in a Camaro as well.
Currently working lap 241 of 312 here is round number 4, of the SNN Cup Series. I'm Tony Spasso. He's Matt Mettler. We want to thank all of you for making this part of your Sunday evening. If you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up. It really lets us know that you're enjoying the action that you're seeing on track. And let us know who you're pulling for tonight. I mean, are you pulling for one of the Toyota camp that has been pretty dominant here tonight and has led all but about 3 laps? Or are you pulling for one of the wild cards, shall we say? Let us know who you're pulling for. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action coming up here on Sim Racing Media. Especially considering that tomorrow night, I believe we've got a doubleheader going. Yes, we do. Starting with the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, round number 4 here at Phoenix. Sorry, that's the SNN Lot Cleaner Xfinity Series, starting at 8:10, sorry. The SCL International Cup Series, round number 8 at Talladega, and the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, round number 3 at Talladega. 8:20 Eastern Time starts for both of those, and we go to Tuesday. And
Green flag, green flag.
as the green flag comes back out, Tuesday we've got the Western States Racing League, round number 10 from Daytona. So a lot of racing coming up just this week alone, just the next couple of days. So you don't want to miss a single moment of action as we are back underway. Miller and Sheridan now going after each other for second.
Yeah, it may be Miller and Sheridan, but they're not sharing the top spot. They've been fighting it out, duking for it all night long tonight. Right now, RJ Root, though, He's going to be the guy who carried the torch, but that 74 and 30, they have been at it so much over the course of this run today. There's more Toyotas following right in their tracks, close proximity there. You got the 27, you got the 14, Seba Cornez really starting to make a strong run here late as he's now inside the top 5, up 12 spots.
Your highest running bow tie continues to be the 44, Sean Rogers, as he's now got Aaron Mack with him as well as Rodrigo Loga. And then Jeff Carson rounding out your top 10 right now in his Toyota. Highest running blue oval, you got to go all the way back to 12 with a double deuce of Rainey Spivey.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of the Camaros, I mean, that's the best thing Sean Rogers there can see is Aaron Mack in that 31. And now look at that, 3 bow ties back to back to back. 1, 2, 3, Rodrigo coming there into the mix. So now they got some team help. They got some support. They got some foot soldiers now up there. Let's see if they can get back up there inside the top 5. And you know Mack ain't shy. He'll Mack that car right up there through the field into that corner. He'll work that thing. That 31, he knows how to get it done if you give him the right equipment. And that car is starting to come on now. As Tony said, that track temperature continues to go down. That means that grip level is going to come up, which may start changing some of the balances on the race car. And I think that might be why we're seeing this late race surgence with some of these Camaros up here working their way towards the front.
We're already down 15 degrees from when we started this piece, so things getting a little bit cooler around here in Phoenix. We're still about 3:30 in the afternoon, though, so that's kind of mildly concerning.
That is mildly concerning. You're right. It's kind of a little, maybe, I don't want to say alarming that the temperature is down that much at 3:30, but hey, with these drivers will take it, as that's going to throw a curveball, potentially at some of the setups on these race cars, as it has been pretty much locked up right just above the 100-degree mark for a majority of this race here in prime time Sunday night. SNN, of course. You guys in the YouTube chat, we appreciate you got it locked on the SRM YouTube channel. As Tony was saying, we got a ton of racing action coming up here tomorrow. With all that content, if you love eSIM racing, you have to come home to SRM. We got you covered. Tony and I be in action and other broadcasts throughout the course of the week, but you can always count on us to be here each and every Sunday night as we get to watch these boys and girls duke it out and put on one heck of a show here tonight from Phoenix. And take a look at this. He really changed his attack line up on that corner entry there, that 40 machine. I think he tried to catch Miller just a little off guard there, as he is working inches off the back of that bumper of that Toyota Camry, really trying to get into the driver's head right now. Get him to make a mental mistake. Look up in the rearview mirror as that Camry is lurking just inches away from the back bumper of Jeremy Miller in that 30.
Murray throws it into the inside, going through 1 and 2, going to wrestle a spot away from Miller. Murray up into second, Miller back to third. And then you're about 3/4 of a second back to this man, Brandon Sheridan, who's plus 34, has led a couple laps here tonight. He negated both of his qualifying attempts, but has just had a steady climb through this field all night long. Working lap 252 of 312. RJ Root continues to show the way. 3/4 of a second to the good over Murray and Miller.
Yeah, 3/4 of a second to the good. But RJ hasn't necessarily gotten away as far as he had at times earlier on tonight. Could the tide start to be changing a little bit right for the lead, right for that number 1 spot here tonight up near the front? RJ Root, Alex Murray in that 40. He has literally been, Tony, so close to P1. He just hasn't been able to get there. I believe Murray started P2 tonight, if I remember correctly, and that's where he continues to be right now. His Achilles heel, his kryptonite, continues to be the 69 of Root.
Root and Murray started on the front row, exactly where the way that they're running right now. And look at the bright side. A lot of guys still have tires left on the wall. We're only a handful of laps away from you can make it from here territory.
Yeah, that thought kind of did run through did run through my head here a little bit ago as we were closing in, on lap 254, now 255, as we're at the line right now. And you're 100% right, Tony. You can definitely make it from here if you come in the next couple laps or so. Do you take the undercut?
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, wait a minute. That changes everything. Caution comes out once again. Just as we were starting to talk about late race strategy here. Take that notebook, crumple it, throw it out the window. As everyone's going to be back re-racked and restacked after we figure out what kind of went south here. Oh my
Ow.
goodness. Are you serious?
What on earth happened there? Keep your eye on the 31. That's the green and black car at the top of your screen.
The 31, the 21 touch there, corner exit. They touch again right there. Oh, he gets loose.
31 tried to chase it down the hill. The 21 was already there. Randy Spivey's double deuce, nowhere to go. Catches the race car to the teeth.
And right up front, big name contenders. And once again, late breaking heartbreak for Travis Kryborg. As again, he gets snookered late in the race. What do you got to do if you're that 21 machine just to come out the other side in one of these ones alive, or at least not getting into a late race incident? And that was not late contact. I mean, that was doings out there on the racetrack. There was some heavy contact with the 21. The dog leg may have kicked back there a little bit. As he got, as I see the car bobble there, and I think that totally changed his trajectory. And it right in made contact coming up off, and that carried all the way up to the top of the racetrack. His big names here have been impacted, as we now see 29, Tanner Marty. He's going to lead a lap. 2 Camaros at the point under caution. But hey, in a race that's been dominated by Toyotas, trust me, the Chevrolets, they'll take that one.
Yeah, but they're about to go deep into this field as RJ Root winning the battle off pit road, 4 in fuel for everybody so far from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to go deep back in the field here. But I think they're going to have time, Tony, to come back up through there once again. And I don't think that's the last you're going to see of them tonight inside the top 10. You get a couple more cautions here, Tony. You know what that does for you, especially if you're good on restarts. As right now, the man on point, though, everyone is chasing that 69 machine. Jeremy Miller, the 30 now. In second, Stephen Cornez, Brandon Sheridan, Jason Gibson, Sean Rogers, Rodrigo, Jeff Carson, Alex Murray, Aaron Mack, your top 10. As we're under caution once again here from the Valley of the Sun. I've been wanting Cheetos ever since we started, Tony. Thank you. I'm going to have to get some of those for Sunday nights.
Sounds like a game plan. Although I prefer the Chester's Puff Corn.
Those are good too.
It's addicting.
I forgot about those.
They are so addicting. So RJ Root, Jeremy Miller, Steve Cornez, Brandon Sheridan, JC Gibson, Sean Rogers, Rodrigo Loga, Jeff Carson, Alex Murray, and Aaron Mack, your top 10 as we currently sit. Lights are out on the pace car. This field worked its way through 1 and 2. Toyota dominance in the top 5, though.
Yeah, Toyota dominance, and again, it was just nice to see a change at the front for just a split second, as those Toyotas have just been rock solid. As the pace car has come off, they just have to come on down. Backstretch here. And as soon as they start to make the entrance to this corner, they'll be in the Geico restart zone. 69 will have the button one more time here, and he's going to lock and rock as he takes off. That field comes roaring back to life one more time. Up through the gearbox, deep into the dog leg, and coming out the other side, it is 69 time once again at the front. RJ Root back to the point, the 30 of Jeremy Miller. He's been inside the top 5, top 10, but this is the furthest up front he's been in, I want to say, at least 50, 60 laps in that 30 machine. Brandon Sheridan, the 74, Seba Cornez in 4th. Jason Gibson right now up to, in that 27, up 16 spots to 5th. Great run, having some late surgeons here in that machine. Alex Murray, the 40, he slipped back just a little bit now, out to the top 10 looking in. And then you have the Camaros there, the 44 of Sean Rogers and the 8 of Tanner Marty, and the 303 of Rodrigo. You got the 3 Camaros trying to come back up and get inside that top 5 once again, as we are 2 and 3 wide, battling hard right here between the 74 and the Toyota camp, and that 14.
The 30 is Miller and Sheridan are going after each other. Seba Cornez right there ready to pick up the pieces when all hell breaks loose.
It almost did right there, Tony.
Another coat of paint, those guys would have been in trouble there, that's for darn sure. But look who's on the charge right now. It's Alex Murray in the 40. As he spent a little extra time on pit road getting some damage repair, starting to claw his way back towards the front, as he's now working on Cornez for 4th.
It certainly looks like it's Murray time out there on the racetrack, as he's now putting the business all over the back of the 74. Almost accidentally came up there and got into the 40, but he does not. These guys fighting oh so hard right now, just working inches off of each other. Is up front once again. RJ Root continues to pull away now over a 1.3 second gap to second place, Jeremy Miller. With all the action on the racetrack right now from second place on back.
Absolutely, as RJ Root is a 2.25 seconds up the road. There you see him at the top of your screen, just flashing in there. RJ Root, Jeremy Miller, Alex Murray, Brandon Sheridan, Seba Cornez, JC Gibson, Sean Rogers, Travis Cranborg, Tanner Marty, and Rodrigo Loga. Your highest running bow tie is going to be the 44 of Rogers one more time, back in 7th. And it's all Toyotas in front of him.
Yeah, as I've said, literally the Toyota shield,
8.
the wall. Oh, and that really got interesting there between the 44 and the 29. There was almost incidental contact there.
So
but
now
totally,
your top 7 are all Toyotas.
yeah, they've thickened the wall just a little bit there now. That's 7 Toyotas that you have to get through to get to the point. And that is just incredible, Tony. I know it's been like that virtually all race long, and I'm still just as shocked seeing that as I was at lap 20, and we're at lap 267 in the books right now. I can't think of a time, even in sim racing, when I've seen this type of manufactured dominance over the course of a race, let alone a stage.
You're not wrong. Unless you're talking about one of those one-make races that, we have like with the Laras or something along those lines. But, yeah, I mean, this is just incredible what these Toyotas are doing here at Phoenix. And it answers the question that we were wondering on the bigger tracks. Is it going to be that, the Toyotas are good on the super speedways and the Chevys are good on the intermediates and the Fords are going to be good on the short tracks? Not so much.
Yeah, the Chevrolet and the Ford guys are going to have to get together and almost have a come to Jesus moment, because they got to do some work in the R&D department here if they're going to want to catch these Camrys, because they are wicked fast right now. At least in the early goings of this season, again, not much change in position. Still a 69 carrying the torch. Jeremy Miller, Alex Murray, Brandon Sheridan, Travis Cryborg, and at 21, still the top 5.
The thing
27,
is, you take a look at the Toyota camp. Those SWM guys, they put in work all week long. It's not just show up on Sunday and be fast. They put in work all week long, fiddling with these setups, making sure that they've got the fastest horse under them that they can possibly have. This battle right now is for 7th between Sean Rogers and Seba Cornez, as Rogers wants to get back into the top 6. opens the door for Tanner Marty to get by Cornez as well.
Yeah, Tanner Marty again, another one. The one probably, at least from early in the race, that 29 machine, who was the furthest running manufacturer that wasn't Toyota.
Oh, he blows turn 3.
Rare mistake from that 29 machine here tonight, but like you said, Tony, he just blew it there. You know, late in the race, probably trying to run a little bit harder than you have all night tonight. You're battling there for position. You got the 22 now. Randy Spivey working the bottom side there, squeezing you up the racetrack just a little bit. And he just
Randy
missed
from just up the road in Bisbee, Arizona. And I believe that is a pure stock from Canyon. If I'm looking at his picture properly. I believe that's one of the full fender pure stocks that they run at Canyon Speedway just up the road here from Phoenix.
Another great local short track there. A lot of history at that racetrack as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's getting it done on the track in real life and in the digital realm, as so many of these iRacers do one way or another. There's a 29 getting a great run, looking to the inside, wants some more. Is the 03 going to give it to him? No, he's going to make him work for it. Is he fighting back hard on the outside? That's going to allow Spivey to close back in. See if he can throw his hand in the ring. That 22 machine on this deal.
Right now it's Chevy on Chevy crime, though, for one of the final spots in the top 10. It's Rodrigo, Marty, and Spivey going after each other right now.
Did you say Chevy on Chevy crime?
Yes, I did.
I love it. Good stuff, Tony. This is probably
Oh! Logan just pounded turn 2 on the exit of the wall.
Yeah, I think that car just kind of snapped there. He didn't anticipate it, and he just got up in there. He got out of it quickly, though, but that's definitely a moment there inside the race car. That'll wake you up real quick.
It absolutely will. Let's take a quick look back here. Just inside the top 15 is our very own Dave Regal going after Matt Gaskins. Give the nod to the Chevy there. In front of them, that's Jeff Carson and I was going to say it was Aaron Mack, but now Jeff Carson's wrestling it away. Gaskin able to get by as well. So Mack not having a good time of it.
Certainly not probably what Mack was hoping for here. Certainly it could be worse, as there's so many drivers that have already taken their cars to the hauler here tonight. And look at this. Dave Regal driving like someone stole Mr. Rogers' sweater. As he just put the power move, drove it down on the inside. He going places, man, right now. That 8 machine, it's looking good. He had some contact. He got into it a little bit earlier on, diced it up, and he is on the attack.
You know, that's one thing I've noticed about Dave. Is he drives better when he's pissed off.
I have too. But there's drivers like that in real life. It's like they have just like another gear they go up there and grab. And I could be like that at sometimes too. But I mean, Dave is driving out. I mean, Dave is possessed right now. He is out there. I mean, he is up on the wheel gripping that thing. He is getting it.
Absolutely is. As
He
this is one
is
of your
now up
closest
there.
battles on track. Actually, this is your closest battle on track. As Argentina against Uruguay, as Esteban Cornez and Rodrigo Loga going after each other.
That was very close there, as they almost made contact there. Again, that 03 machine working just off the back of that Camry. You heard a Lamborghini lurking? This is Chevy Camaro lurking. Made famous by Rick Ross, in case you were wondering. That 03, though, he is just, oh my goodness. See if I really bringing it to him right now. You go on board, looking out the front of that race car there. He makes the pass, goes on by the 03. Rodrigo on the move now inside the top 10 and check the box one up to the 9th position. That's going to move Seba Cornez back to the 10th spot. As we continue to wind the laps down here in Phoenix, working lap 282 out of 312.
So we're going to go back here with a battle for 14th between Carson and Regal. Regal all over the back bumper of that Toyota in front of him. And gives it all up on the exit of 2 there. Starts to drift back a little bit. Going to get another run at him here. Regal seems to be a little bit better through 3 and 4, whereas Carson seems to be a little bit better through 1 and 2.
Yeah, and it kind of just balances out the distance that the 9 gives. He gets back, and Regal does a similar gesture, but still great racing by both these drivers out there. Good corner there by Regal. He's going to have the momentum here. He's going to be able to pull alongside him. Does he take it to the top? He does, all the way to the top.
Ooh, hang on to her.
Hang on to her. Oh. Is Regal got the best of the 9 without even making contact.
That's what pressure can do. And Jeff Carson just buckled. Checking back up here in the top 5, this Brandon Sheridan currently has 5th. J.C. Gibson all over him, wants it. And Sean Rogers right there within striking distance as well. This is your closest battle on track for 5th. What a run Sheridan has had so far. Negated both of his qualifying laps. Started very deep in this pack. Is currently plus 33 in 5th. Gibson, though, in the 27, starting to give him some pressure. Root, Murray, Miller, Crayborg, Sheridan, Gibson, Rogers, Marty, Loga, Cornez, your top 10 as we currently sit. Working 287 of 312 here tonight from Phoenix. Round number 4 of the SNN Cup Series. Tony Trapasso and Matt Metler up in the booth with you for this one. Thank you all so much for making this a part of your Sunday evening. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know that you like what you're seeing and hearing. It really does help share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. And if you don't like what you're seeing, hit the thumbs down button twice to make sure you got it. Gibson and Sheridan still going after each other. Seba Cornez, the first one of your top 10 to bring it down pit road for what should be the money stop. So we are fast approaching 20 to go here. Matt, are you with us? Nope, we've lost Matt Metler. So we're watching this battle for 5th. You know, let's go on board with J.C. Gibson and see what he's seeing.
flag is out.
There you see Tony Berg getting it sideways, coming into 3 and 4. It brings out the caution, which, guess what? You can definitely make it from here. And we're seeing wholesale pit stops at the front of this piece. RJ Root winning the battle off pit road. Alex Murray, Travis Craneboard, Jeremy Miller, Sean Rogers, Brandon Sheridan, Rodrigo Loga, Tanner Marty, Matt Gaskins, Randy Spivey, rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. So we are going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
There's a new approach to lawn care, Preen One Lawn Care. Preen One does away with the hassle of multiple bags of different products. It has everything you need for a beautiful lawn in one bag. And all it takes is one application. For season-long weed control and feeding, apply the granules when the lawn is wet and weeds are actively growing. It blocks crabgrass all season. It prevents crabgrass seeds from growing. It kills the seedlings too, even when applied 4 weeks after they sprout. It's your best defense against tough weeds like dandelion, chickweed, henbit, and hundreds more. Plus, its slow-release formula feeds the lawn evenly for months to build stronger roots for maximum heat and drought resistance. Preen One delivers convenience and better performance in one package with one application. Spend more time enjoying your lawn and less time working on it. Preen One, and it's done. It's a lawn dream come true.
Guys, Roger Debo, front top 5 Alpha Prime and Sim Racing Media.
And we are back at Phoenix for 15 laps to go. Going to restart with 14 to go. RJ Root has the button, pouring fuel for everybody for the money stop. So you can make it from here, and we're about to see a Saturday night short track shootout. Root, Murray, Miller, Crayboard, all right on top of each other right now. The highest running Chevys are going to be Marty and Rogers, who are going after each other almost door to door. As Miller and Craneboard go door to door for third and fourth. Murray just stalking Root right now. 13 laps to go. Can Root hang on? Or is Murray going to be the bridesmaid? Down the hallway they come. Here comes Rogers to the inside of Marty. It's going to open the door for Loga to get by him as well. Loga keeping the momentum up on the top shelf in the 0-3. Here comes Rogers battling back, though, on the inside through 1 and 2. Spivey working on Gibson right now. Spivey's had a lot of good short run speed. Gibson's had the good long run speed. The only thing is I don't think we've got enough laps for Gibson to really make anything happen. And just I say that he gets by Spivey, puts Spivey back to 9th, Gibson up to 8th. Miller and Crayborg run bumper to bumper right now for 3rd. As Root and Murray going for 1st, bumper to bumper. It'll be 10 laps to go this time by. Root and Murray still running stem to stern. 10 laps to go. Down the hallway they come out of turn number 2. Root has led the vast majority of laps here tonight. But that has been the curse in the previous three events that we've had. Whoever's led the most laps has not won the race. Can Root break the curse here at Phoenix? Down the hallway they come again. 8 miles to go at the line. Root and Murray starting to pull a little bit of gap on Miller and Crayborg. They've got a 1.5 seconds to the good over Rogers and Loga. These 4 Toyotas have been the class of the field all night long. As we've got side by side for 3rd. It's the 21 of Crayborg and the 30 of Miller going after each other. Murray makes a bid for the lead. Root still with an advantage. Nose out front for the 69. Here comes the 40 on the inside. They lean on each other through 1 and 2. Root able to pinch Murray down. As it looks like Miller may have caught the wall. Crayborg going to file in right behind him. Here comes the handshake lap. 5 to go at the line. Murray going to take another shot down the inside, using a little bit of the apron to help that car rotate. Root keeping it wound up on that 2nd lane. Gets a better run down the hallway. 4 to go this time by. Root in command still. Coming off a 2. Root getting a little bit better run off of Murray. Crayborg working to the inside on Miller. Going to wrestle the spot away from him. Crayborg now has the clear coming off of 4. Battle for the lead still hot and heavy.
Yeah, it is all RJ Root out in front right now as the laps continue to wind down. Miller all over the back of that car as he's been lap after lap. Painting a bead on the back of that Toyota Camry in that 69 machine. Getting really up close and personal, trying to force a mental mistake in air from that 69 car. Miller's going to take it all the way down to the bottom. So he's going to try whatever he possibly can to get that 69 to flinch just a little bit.
Lap car could play a role in this one. That's Brian Tarnowski right in front of your leaders. Root going to use Tarnowski as a pick. White flag is out. One more lap to go. 1 mile left in this piece.
1 mile left in it. Does the RJ Root have one more lap of being able to keep that 40 machine of Alex Murray at bay behind him, as Murray has been literally glued right on the back of that Toyota Camry, but Root has been like an ironclad strong, not making a mental mistake, not flinching an inch under the pressure from the 40 of Alex Murray. Coming through those corners one more time. Lap car to the outside, out of the groove. He leaves a little bit of an opening, but at the line, oh, they touch. I believe RJ Root is going to be able to break through, be the first person to lead the most laps and win the race, as Alex Murray goes spinning just after the start-finish line. What a run at the front of the field, Tony, between the 69 and the 40. Some of the most intense racing I have seen at this racetrack in the closing laps in a long time. But RJ Root gets it done. Alex Murray second, Travis Dryborg in third. Jeremy Miller and Rodrigo in that 03 machine round out your top five.
And you could see it right there as the 40 was leaning on him by about a fender is all RJ had at the stripe.
Yeah, very close, intense racing there. Those final laps. What a show, everyone, in the on the SRM channel, YouTube. Big shout out to all you guys coming out tonight. You were treated certainly in those closing laps, as that was one for the ages between Root and Murray. But RJ Root is able to be, I think he's the first driver this season to lead the most laps.
He is.
And win the race. So he breaks through.
He broke the curse.
It is broken. The black cloud has been lifted. As he goes out there and takes an Alan Kowicki Polish-style victory lap here around the racetrack.
And Matt, I believe you've got our race winner with you now.
RJ Root, Matt Metler, Tony up in the booth. You got us, sir.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, congratulations on breaking through. You lead the most laps tonight. You come out on top with a W. That was some of the best racing I have seen in a long time between you and Alex Murray, and you didn't flinch up there. You were iron stone cold. How did you get it done?
Man, I just got to say, Alex has taught me so well in the last year and a half. He's taught me how to take pressure and have trust in the person that you are racing against.
What just happened?
And, let him beat my doors off like that. I mean, that was so much fun. I told him over the radio, that was honestly my second favorite Phoenix race, other than last year when Alex and I battled for the win here and we didn't get it broadcasted. But this track provides such good racing, and Alex and I have so much fun running each other as hard as we possibly can.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen racing that was that close, that tight, that many of laps where you guys physically didn't touch. Just extraordinary racing out there on full display by yourself, Alex Murray, there tonight in the closing laps. Now you finally break through. You win the most laps. You get the win here tonight. What is the setup for you now for the remainder of the season? How does this change things for you?
I mean, it doesn't really change anything because we won at Auto Club, but just it's more playoff points. It makes it easier once we get to the playoffs. We're still just going to push as hard as we can and get as many playoff points as we can. I mean, having 2 wins completely locks me into the playoffs, but I mean, other than that, it's still going to be business as usual week in and week out.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. RJ Root, a winner once again here tonight in prime time, putting on one for the ages, battling for the lead with the 40 machine of Alex Murray. Before we let you go, RJ, who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done in that Toyota?
I really got to thank Alex Murray for the amazing setup once again. I got to thank P1 Coffee, Burnt Rubber Television, everybody at Prodigy Esports, just everyone that's involved with my racing, my girlfriend for supporting me through all this. Just, it's been a hell of a run.
You know, you mentioned the setup. You know, the Toyotas, they brought it tonight. You guys were like the Iron Curtain at the front of the field. I mean, no one without being a Toyota could seem to penetrate through that force field tonight. I mean, great manufacturer run here tonight too as well. There he is, your winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The 69, win number 2 on the season, has some strong momentum, some more playoff points. That is RJ Root in the 69 machine. Tony, back to you, sir.
Joining me now is going to be the man who finished second to him and driving the number 40, the Shamrock number 40 Toyota, Alex Murray. You threw everything except the kitchen sink at RJ Root that final lap.
Yeah, I didn't want to wreck him. I mean, RJ is running full-time here, and I'm running part-time, so just gave it everything I had without wrecking him, and I didn't want to wreck myself either. So, I mean, overall, what a race.
It absolutely was a race. Toyota dominance is the way I would classify it. As yourself, RJ, and Travis all started 1, 2, and 3, and you finished 1, 2, and 3 in that order.
Yeah, I think the Toyotas are a force to be reckoned with now. I think last year, you know, nobody was really running them, and I think this is going to get a lot of people to run them now. So, big shout out to TRD as well for the support and whatnot. So it's pretty awesome that we've got 3 of us in the top 3.
Well, we change gears going next week, and we go to what's equating to a super speedway, even though it's 1.5 miles. We go to the new Atlanta. What are your thoughts going into that race next week?
Not sure that I'll be there, but building for it, it's going to rely on a lot of aero. So definitely going to have the car good behind and up front, as well as you're going to have handling. So we're going to get to work on that here soon, and hopefully have something just as dominant as tonight.
Sounds like a game plan. Alex, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
I got to thank Shamrock Auto Care, simratmarket.com, BRTV, Caliber Collision, Baby Mama and little baby that isn't here yet. Got to thank Prodigy Esports and everybody over there, and just got to thank everybody for supporting me, family included. This is it's been awesome.
Alex Murray, congratulations on the podium. Hopefully we'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And Matt, I believe you've got our 3rd place finisher who, that car looks like it's been through a war. Holy cow.
Travis Crayborg, Matt Metler up in the booth. Tony as well. You got us, sir.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey, great to have you up here again at the end of the race. And like Tony said, it looks like you took that thing, live on the battlefield, if you will, like coming off a Call of Duty map. What happened to that car at the end of the race there?
A little bit of everything, to be honest. The whole race, just fighting the entire race, getting involved in wrecks. One was on me. I take full responsibility for that. Had a little bit of issue with my virtual mirror with the FOV, but that one was on me. Got involved in a couple other wrecks, and that spray of cautions there in that stage, that's what helped me. I got a lot of my damage fixed, but then just kept fighting. Got it up to the front and pushed like hell that last run there. Almost got to him, but Roger 1, 2, 3, 4 can't be happier.
No, well said. But I mean, you definitely had to adapt and overcome tonight. As we saw, we set the tone early on in this one with a caution, just basically right after the green flag here tonight. It wasn't easy for you though. How were you able to just stay focused and keep that racer's mindset, knowing that you would be able to make your way through the field?
Yeah, I just had to keep calm, be confident, because I mean the setup was on rails like it is every week. So yeah, just we had the car. I knew that. Um, the car we got it fixed a little bit, so just stayed confident, knew what I could do, and yeah, all worked out.
All right, on a personal note, what are they putting in the water in that Toyota camp? Because you guys are scary good. I mean, you guys were like the Iron Curtain up there guarding the top 5 positions all night. I mean, you guys basically couldn't be touched. Great manufacturer run here tonight as well. What are you guys doing in that Toyota camp that's just giving you guys so much speed on all these different types of racetracks?
Just everyone coming together when test sessions go up. Everyone's in there putting in laps, giving feedback. Alex making changes to the setup, saying this is better. How do you feel about this change? So it's just a lot of work put in by everybody to get the setups as quick as they are.
Yeah, well said. And you heard it right there. There is no I in team. A massive group effort, more than the individual drivers in that race car. Big reason for their dominance continuing on throughout the course of the season. Travis, before I cut you loose, who do you want to thank, sir? Who helps you get it done on that race car?
Everyone at Prodigy Esports. I'm sure you've heard that many times, but yeah, everyone at Prodigy, P1 Coffee, Burnt Rubber Television, SimRap Market. Yeah, everyone at Prodigy, like Alex, Z, Brandon, Nick, RJ, Sean, got Haley. I mean, everyone over there. Just can't thank them enough.
There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, your third place finish tonight. Toyota's 1, 2, 3. That's the driver of the 21 TRD Toyota Camry. That is Travis Kryborg. Tony, back to you, sir.
Well, we just heard from our podium finishers, RJ Root, Alex Miller, Travis Clayborg. Rounding out your top 5 is another Toyota, Jeremy Miller, and the highest running Chevy of Rodrigo Loga. Matter of fact, the only Chevy in the top 5. Sean Rogers Chevy in 6th. The highest running Blue Oval goes to Randy Spivey in 7th. And then we're back into the Toyota camp with J.C. Gibson, Jeff Carson, and Brandon Sheridan, all Toyotas to round out your top 10. Tanner Marty in 11th, Matt Gaskins, Joe Stafford, Steve Cornez. Steve Cornez, Dave Regal, John Wilco, and Steve Giberson rounding out your lead lap cars in 17th. Then we go to Aaron Mack in 18th, 2 laps down. Brian Tarnowski in 19th, Dave Fruit Jr. to round out the top half of the field. Matt?
Yeah, that's the top half. I'll take you through the bottom half. In 20th, that's going to be Steve Giberson. In 21st, Dave Regal. 22nd, Eugenio Alonso. 23rd, Lorne Jones. 24th belongs to Alex Princeton. 25th, Ken Ron. 26th, Chris Claude in the 10. 27th, Tony Burt. 28th, Nicholas Brottenbach. In 29th tonight, Kavara Holt. In 30th position, that's going to be Ryan Samuelson. 31st, the 7 machine of RP Allen. 32nd, Chad Sanner. 33rd belongs to Leo Bonacosta. Thank you, Tony. 34th, that's Sean Coughlin. 35th, Rick Jett. Not Rick Jenneret, Rick Jett. 36th, Zach Osborne. 37th, Bennett Allen. 38th, was really hoping for more tonight, was involved early, Nick Stein. 39th, the 95, John Crow. The other party that got into it there throughout the saga with Dave Regal in the 8 machine tonight. 40th, that's going to be Austin Story, another big name caught up early in this one. 41st, Aiden Hill. 42nd, Chris Custer. And 43rd tonight, your final starter, that's going to be the 6 of Emily Urias.
So that is going to do it for us here tonight from Phoenix. Be sure to join us next week from Hotlanta as we bring you round number 5 of the SNN Cup Series. He's Matt Metler. I'm Tony Trapassa. Reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor. Don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.